Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
If you work at any size business, nonprofit, or household in New York City, you have the right to safe and sick leave. That means time off work to care for yourself or family without fear of losing your job. Use leave for COVID to get tested, quarantine, recover from the vaccine, or for a cold, to get treated for anxiety or depression, or to find shelter from an abuser. Call 311 or visit nyc.gov/workers to learn more.
If you're struggling with alcohol or drugs, Recovery Centers of America can help. RCA's local inpatient and outpatient programs are founded on science and delivered with heart from an expert, caring team who will inspire and guide you every step of the way. Call 1-888-RECOVERY now to speak with a treatment advisor. At RCA, you'll be in a community that builds connections and fosters support from peers and RCA's team of medical professionals and recovery support specialists. At RCA's state-of-the-art campuses in Devon, PA, and Mays Landing, New Jersey, they tailor your treatment to you and also offer specialized programs for patients with history of trauma, for patients who have achieved recovery but are experiencing a relapse, for young adults, adults 50 years and older, a confidential program for first responders and military, and a faith-based program. RCA answers the phone and accepts patients 24/7, and because it's local and in-network with insurance providers, treatment is affordable and accessible. Don't wait. Call 1-888-RECOVERY today.
Give joy, give sport this season with Adidas for everyone on your list. Whether you're shopping for runners, sneakerheads, or treating yourself, Adidas stores have all your holiday shopping covered. Bundle up with loungewear for the whole family. Boost some energy into the season with Ultra Boost and NMD footwear, or get into the spirit with matching tracksuits. Visit your local Adidas store or adidas.com to wrap your holiday season in 3 stripes.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
All right, welcome to Gen Exhausted. I'm Rich.
I'm Earl.
And we have no Chris tonight because we are recording on Thanksgiving night, and obviously we have no lives, so we could record. But life got in the way of Chris and recording, so here we are. Speaking of Thanksgiving, might as well get this out the way. You know, by the time you hear this, you'll already be dreading Christmas and over Thanksgiving. How'd yours go?
My Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
It was great.
Motherfucker. Mouse in your pocket. Yeah, you.
Yeah, dude. No, it was great. I am sitting here on Thanksgiving recording, but I'm recording with a full-ass stomach. My wife is a chef beyond chefs, and we hosted a family meal here this morning, afternoonish, whatever. And, yeah, it was so good. Like, I ate to where if I ate one more small bite, it was all over.
It's like the scene in Monty Python, Meaning of Life. And he's like, just one more bite. You can eat it. Fuck off.
Yeah.
And he's all swollen up and fat, and he does take and explode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how I felt, man. I had well, fuck it. I'll thank you, cousin Jess and Clay. Had some family members basically take pity on me. And we're like, here you go. Here's some stuff for Thanksgiving. And so and trying to do the whole, staying with my buddy. He has his kids, but he doesn't have them for Thanksgiving. Do the whole family thing. So I cooked. I don't know if I call it cooking. I prepared food. It wasn't like my grandmother's shit. That shit went from scratch, man. I can tell you that right now. But a lot of cans, a lot of dumping shit in and reheating shit or heating shit up. That's cooking these days for me. But yeah, dude, the last 2 days I haven't ate this good in months. And one plate made me fucking go, oh God, I hate myself. I've ate till I despise myself.
Pretty much, dude. Fortunately or unfortunately, pick your vernacular. It was all made from scratch. Had real macaroni and cheese made, green bean casserole, ham, turkey, had deviled eggs that became a casserole.
So deviled casserole?
It's complicated. She pulled the deviled eggs out of the fridge and dropped it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
And they all kind of rolled up into one.
Deviled egg log.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drink some eggnog with it. It's good. That don't make you vomit. We don't know what will. But, I mean, hey, it rhymes.
Well, it's funny because people here saw the tray hit the floor and they were like, I ain't eating that. And I was like, move, motherfucker. I ate the fuck out of them deviled eggs.
Yeah, deviled eggs are something like my grandmother made them. And I had a friend's wife make them last year. And they have chickens. And those deviled eggs were really good. Like, no bullshit. Best I've had since my grandmother used to make them. And I was like, you know what? Fair enough. Okay. See, no matter what, people that have never met, they'll have something in common. And this woman just so happened to make deviled eggs tasted just like my grandmother's. And I was just like, and you two couldn't be completely different people from completely different backgrounds. How the fuck do you get the same recipe? I don't know. But
you know what though? You know what I found kind of odd? I've told you, Rich, that I'm in a car club here in Wichita, and there's a lot of kids in them. By kids, I'm talking, 18 to 22. They're not really doing too much for Thanksgiving. That's what they said. I think the big traditions are going away, dude. Really, I do.
It's funny you brought that up.
I kid you not. A kid that was here today, again, kid being younger than 20-ish, in their early 20s, looks at me dead in the face and says, British people said that they're not celebrating Thanksgiving. They're going to celebrate Christmas, and they put Christmas lights up after Halloween. And I'm like, well, what about Thanksgiving? And they don't celebrate that. I have this deadpan look and just like blinking at her like, okay, give me the punchline. There's a joke coming here. You've got to be kidding me.
They don't celebrate the 4th of July either, sweetheart.
No shit. Why would they? Why would they celebrate?
Well, they actually might be like, how do we look at what's going on in America? Thank you.
Yeah,
hey, now we're going to celebrate the 4th of July.
I'm so glad you motherfuckers left.
Yes.
That's like the uncle that lived in the basement and then he moved out and you're like, oh, I'm glad he moved out before he did that shit. Holy hell.
Oh, I'm just thinking it's like the girlfriend that you just go, oh, because she's cheating on you and she leaves you. Yes, in that order. And he's taller than you and he's got more money than you. And he's just fucking hung better than you and all this bullshit. At least that's what you think. And on the outside, everything looks good. And then, like, years and years later, you're like, ooh, she got fat, she got ugly, he's a child molester. Like, oh, shit. You know what? Thank you, sweetheart, for breaking up with me, because this is the best thing ever happened. No, it ain't even karma. No, I don't care about life getting back at her. Thank you for saving me from that drama, because man, you know as well as I do, people like that attract that drama. They want that drama in their personal life. I swear to God, it's one of the best pieces of advice I've gotten in the last 5 years of my life was from someone who I'm not very close with, but I know well enough, and I feel he knows me well enough. And he's just like, I was asking him advice on a certain situation. He goes, you don't need to go any further into the situation than you already have. In fact, I'd pull back from the situation and try to remove yourself from it. And I'm like, okay, why? Because you don't need that much fucking chaos in your life. It's like, damn, that's the truth. I don't, man. And once you get used to that and you get greedy for it, you want that fucking boring life, dude. Yeah, it's boring at times. But you know what? Voices in our heads keep us occupied. So, no. But no, I mean, dead serious. Like, I don't know if it's a byproduct of just getting older. I don't know if it is getting older or if it's just a matter of, dude, there's enough shit out here that fucking gets me riled up. I don't need that. I don't need to go looking for shit.
No, I definitely think it's getting older because it just, when we were kids and everything, the drama and everything is what kept us going. The game of telephone, he said, she said bullshit and running around trying to show You can't talk about me like that. You know, you can't talk about my friend like that. And just after a while, dude, it gets old. I mean, just the idea alone, it's like, you know what? You go tell him he can't talk to you about you like that. Fuck, leave me alone. Football's on. Shit.
Oh yes, yeah. And one of the best lines I ever heard from Bill Maher was talking about, you know, you don't be willing to die for every fucking friend you have. He's like, there's maybe two people that can hop in a car that like, you know, they're a friend of mine. Go, can you give me a ride to this place? And I'll go, yes. And I drive them there, and they get out. Then all of a sudden, they hop in the car and they're out of breath, and they're like, oh, we got a problem. He's like, there's maybe two people I'm not related to that I'll be like, okay, what's up? The rest of them, you got a fucking problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you need to take that problem and that bullshit and get the fuck out my car with it. I mean, of course, I'm paraphrasing because Bill Maher has never had that much flavor in anything he's ever said. So, but it's just you know what I'm saying.
I do, man. But like I was saying, speaking of problems, that's a huge problem. Britain doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving, and that's a question in these kids' mind.
Well, dude,
huge problem.
It's funny you bring that up because, well, I mean, that's well-worn carpet on the show. But I was thinking of something very much along those lines, and it was like, family members that I have that are under 30, I guess I don't know. I don't know if that's the cutoff. I mean, I would just chalk it up to, oh, that's just this particular family member. But it seems like all the family members under a certain age, there's no sentiment there. Like, they're like, just another day. Now, I maintain some of that's just youthful whatever, like the hubris of youth where you're just walking around like, this is stupid. I don't need an excuse to be thankful for shit. Blah, 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 blah. This is stupid. The Indians, we slaughtered the Indians. Why are we celebrating this? You know what I'm saying? Like all the standard bullshit that you go through. But I think it's also deeper than that because look at society these days. You don't have, dude, we are constantly bombarded with shit to where we don't even have time to sit back and reflect on the movie we just watched.
That's truth.
I mean, one of the things that blows my mind is that my group of friends from 20 plus years ago, if I went and saw a movie and they said, how was the movie? And I just answered, it was good, it sucked, or, and wait for it, on like HBO or TV or whatever. And that's all I answered. Dude, you know as well as I do. They'll be like, what are you in the CIA all of a sudden? What sucked about the movie?
What happened?
Yeah, why did it suck? Why was it great? What was it? Any hot bitches in it? Any fucking thing, right? Now, if you answer more than the answers I just gave, I ain't got time for all that shit. You ain't got time for explain to me how you don't have time for this. Because you're going to sit here for an hour and a half scrolling up on fucking TikTok. But tell me, that's, by the way, watching videos that are 15 seconds, 30 seconds long at the most. Tell me how you don't have time to have a conversation. And when you do engage in a conversation,
you're going to love this. Some of the younger people here, I heard them talking about Dune, the movie, and they are refusing to watch any more Dune movies because they were not told that it was going to be a series. If you didn't know, sorry, spoiler alert, they weren't told that. And they paid good money to see a film, not to be left hanging. Oh. They wanted the ending. They wanted to know what the hell they just sat and watched all this time for. And because they were left hanging and they weren't warned that this is going to be some sort of series, whether it be a trilogy or what have you, they're like, fuck, I ain't never paying for another movie for them. Not going to happen.
That's cool. They already got the money for the first one, and they're going to finance the second. And I know that the director has talked about he wants to make 3 of them. He wants to do the first 3 books in the 6-book series. That's not going to happen. Because, dude, book 4, if they could make it into a movie, hardcore political theory junkies, like hardcore Dune fans, and maybe hardcore sci-fi fans. That's pretty much all you could count on people that would actually sit through it in the movie theater. Because it is a story told from a damn near omnipotent being's perspective of how he has to teach humanity that you don't want peace. And they go, yes, we do. And he's 2,500, almost 3,000 years old. And he's seen the cycles of humanity. And he basically teaches a lesson. No, you don't want peace. So he like rigidly enforces peace in the entire fucking galaxy by basically taking everyone's rights away. And he's like, look how peaceful it is. Because if you do anything, I kill you. Now, do you really want this? You really want this? And I mean, in the book, it says literally, he's going to teach them a lesson that their ancestors will remember in their bones. Right. Like, he's going to imprint upon humanity as a whole. This is not your fucking nature. You can't be happy with just fucking being happy. Yeah, Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but that's true. We can't.
No, it is. And then the whole book warns about don't fall for false gods and don't fall for false idols in government either. Social engineering, religion are both the same means to an end, control of the masses. So once they find out that about fucking Frank Herbert, there's going to be people going, he's a fascist. I don't want to read it. I thought he was progressive. He's a fascist.
Bro, I think you're giving people too much credit with these generations. Like I said, after what I've seen, just to deal with Thanksgiving, one of our quote-unquote most important holidays, I'm losing what left hope I had. It's going very quickly. I mean, to tell me that Britain's not celebrating it, dude. I'm telling you, you said, oh, the Indians were killed. I'll tell you this: over half the new generation probably doesn't know what the fuck Thanksgiving is. They're like, oh, we're supposed to be thankful. We have family and we have food and we're not on the street and we're not poor. We're going to be thankful for all of this. That's not what you're celebrating. That's what you're not supposed to be celebrating. You're supposed to be celebrating the Pilgrims meeting the Indians and that dinner. And that was my answer when she said that the British doesn't celebrate. I was like, why would they? It was the celebration of the Pilgrims and Indians. God damn, I can't believe I have to say this.
Dude, there's also there's a very strong push to teach that Thanksgiving has nothing to do with the original Thanksgiving. Don't even bother to teach them history. Just teach them what's going on now. It's a celebration of unbridled capitalism, where people sit around stuffing their faces to the point of almost being sick while other people starve and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, once again, yeah, you're right. If you want to look at it from that point of view, yes. From that point of view, that very myopic point of view, you're absolutely right. Now, did you post that with your iPhone made with child labor in China? You did? Shut the fuck up. How about that? Real fucking simple. But you can't have that. They ain't ready for that conversation. And it's not about ready. They refuse to have that conversation. That's why conversation has been basically pushed to the sides for ideology instead. And I mean, dude, see, that took your hope away from fucking humanity a little bit. You know what took my hope away from humanity since the last show? Is Kyle Rittenhouse shit.
Oh, jeez.
And not the nonsense that most people are tripping out about. It's the willful ignorance and just wah. I'm going to throw myself on the ground and have a tantrum until you fucking just either shut up and stop telling me facts, or you just acquiesce to my feelings and what I think should be reality. Because it's like, you know what? I don't want to put words in your mouth. Earl, you and I have kind of talked about it off the air. Why don't you tell everyone your take on the Kyle Rittenhouse situation?
I am on both sides because I feel both sides are correct. And that can happen. It's very, very simple logic. Legality, out of it. All right? I don't want to talk legal because nobody I know has a freaking legal degree, especially me. Apparently, the law says both sides, or one side was right, one side was wrong. Whatever. Here's the thing. Morality, common sense. Okay? Should Kyle Rittenhouse have been there defending with an AR-15? No. Was he? Absolutely. Should the people have been there rioting and burning buildings and breaking stuff? No. Were they? Sure were. Should the people have chased and started beating Kyle Rittenhouse? No. Did they? Yes, they did. And it's cause and effect at that point. You do that to somebody and they got a gun, yeah, they're probably going to shoot you. So both sides are right. No, he shouldn't have been there. No, they shouldn't have rioted. No, they shouldn't have chased him. No, they shouldn't have tried to beat him. So both sides are completely correct. Unfortunately, you fall into cause and effect, and the law sides with Kyle. I mean, that's an argument you can have with your congressman.
Well, and isn't this the battle cry of the liberal and what was progressive when we were younger towards the religious people? Wasn't it the battle cry of, you want to make your morals a law? Morals are subjective. The law is supposed to be objective. I mean, if he'd have shot him the minute they walked up and talked to him, I guarantee this would have played out a lot different.
Right.
But
yeah, definitely.
I mean, but here's where my hope in humanity goes away, is people who I've personally known for going on 30 years now. I know they're not stupid. I know they're not. And they refuse to deal with the reality of the situation. Like friends, and some of these people are mutual friends of ours. I'm not going to put them on blast, but this example I'm going to use is definitely a mutual friend of ours. Well, a skateboard's not a deadly weapon. That's ridiculous. Dude, okay, look, I understand. Like, he wasn't one of the guys like from the crew that fought a lot, but he probably mixed it up a few times. All right. Okay. But you've been around enough fights.
Yeah.
Bro, you've seen a fucking a frying pan a little bit thicker than aluminum foil used as a weapon. You know what I'm saying? Like, and crack someone's fucking head to the point where it gave them a goose egg on their head the size of the fucking frying pan. Like, fuck off, dude. Like, I better.
Mean, well, the thing is the skateboard in and of itself, you're right. It is not a deadly weapon.
Can it be used that way?
When you pick it up and go full force of a swing like you're trying to hit it out of Wrigley Field, oh, you're goddamn right. It'll kill a motherfucker like a bullet.
Dude, dead serious, man. I've had 3-4 friends growing up over the years who've either, I knew them, I was never there for any of it. I'm glad, because I really don't want to see this. But I either knew them or I knew them after it happened. And they still had, and they had the scars they're going to have the rest of their life, where they got their fucking jaw broke with a skateboard. That the trucks are the metal piece attached to the board, which is attached to the wheels, for people that don't know. That catches you, and that'll shatter your fucking jaw, dude, in more than one spot. One swing could do that. If it connects with your temple, what the fuck you think it's going to do?
Lights out.
You know what I'm saying?
In a hurry,
so,
yeah, even not even used in that purpose. Kids that, or guys that, just go skateboard, fuck themselves up royally when things go awry with the skateboard.
You can tell a person who's got a real bad temper, and that bad temper's gotten them knocked the fuck cold or worse, because they break their skateboard in very specific ways, usually in ways that it won't bounce back and hit them.
Yeah, shit. Because if you stomp on it and it snaps in half, it's very likely it's going to roll up and smack you in the head. Half of it is anyway.
Or picking it up and bouncing it off a wall shoulder high. And then, when it bounces back, there's a pretty good chance it's going to catch you somewhere in the face or the body.
Yeah,
and it's just going to piss you off worse.
I mean, you can go watch episodes of Ridiculous, folks. Ridiculousness has all the time follies of people on skateboards where they get hurt.
Fuck that. Don't watch MTV at all. Just go on YouTube and look up fucking jackasses getting fucked up with skateboards.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's all you got to do. Just look up skateboard used in fight. And I guarantee you're going to find at least one where you're going to hear the connection clear enough, and you're going to go, oh, okay, yeah, that's a deadly weapon.
No shit.
Sounded like someone took a battle axe to somebody's head.
Well, I mean, Rich, it that becomes the argument of semantics that people want to dive into. A skateboard isn't a gun or a knife. It doesn't have to be. Matter of fact, it gives you a longer reach than a knife.
An unloaded shotgun. I can beat you to death with one. Theoretically.
Seriously, a skateboard, a pogo stick, a Louisville Slugger, any three of them I can kill you with.
A Fender Stratocaster.
Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Ask Meatloaf.
Les Paul's, the headstock or the neck will shear off, and then you'll be like, it's like $5,000. So just don't. If you play Les Pauls, be a pussy. Pussies play Les Pauls.
I don't remember if it was a Telecaster or Stratocaster, but I do remember him saying that.
No, it's dead. I'm dead serious, man. Like, Les Pauls are delicate little guitars, and I am too rough with a guitar. It's like it'd be like, it's like if you're built like the Mountain from Game of Thrones, like 7'3", 320 pounds. It's not a good example because his girlfriend's a little tiny thing. I'm like, you don't want a little tiny girl because you end up like, come here, I want to hold you. Oh, okay. And you just kind of fold her up, put her in your pocket. I'll dump her off at the later. I mean, but you get what I'm saying. Anyways, this person just refused to admit a skateboard can be used as a weapon. And I'm like, okay, if you can't even admit that, and that's the first fucking, because the way that they came at me about it was, well, he attacked them. There's no doubt about it. Those are the facts. And I was like, have you seen the videos? By the way, surprising amount of people will admit, oh, I haven't watched the videos. I didn't even know there were videos. They were up 20 minutes after it happened.
Well, I mean, not even who attacked first. There were 4 shots, 3 by Rittenhouse, and he wasn't the first to pull the trigger.
That's what. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Right? No.
He shouldn't have been there. He shouldn't have been there. And I'm like, okay, he shouldn't have been there. It's not a fucking law, dude. You're making a moral judgment. Remember when you said you don't want people's religious morals in your law? Well, guess what? I don't want your fucking newfound reject the reality of the situation morals imposed into the fucking. The law is the law. The law is the last line. It's not supposed to be wash your hands after you use the bathroom, or else we throw you in fucking prison for 20 years.
Because you're trying to spread COVID and kill people.
The law is not, the law is not you have to keep a clean fucking house because cleanliness is next to godliness. The law is supposed to protect us from aberrant and fucking unprincipled people in society and the occasional true sociopath who's like just does not care. We don't protect each other from sociopaths that are in Fortune 500 companies, but we protect ourselves from sociopaths or we do our best, who like to kill people or kill children or rape women, and et cetera, et cetera. That's what the law is for. These people understood this 20 years ago. I've had these conversations. We fought on the same fucking side.
No, they understood it 2 years ago when they were talking about Black Lives Matter and shooting unarmed people. They understood it then.
And it's, these are the same, and of course, because Trump is just, until Trump dies, he's never going away. He's always going to be brought up. These people have like post-Trump distress disorder or some shit. I don't know. It's like the Trumpers after 2016, like well into 2018, all the maggots were still chanting, lock her up. Bro, stop talking about Hillary Clinton. No one else is. Shut the fuck up about this bitch. She's finally out of the spotlight. Shut the fuck up. It's like Candyman. You keep saying this bitch's name, she's going to show up. Stop talking about the hoe. I hate Donald Trump. I'm going to talk about Donald Trump for fucking 25 hours a day online. 25 hours a day. Doesn't matter. My feeling don't care about your facts. Okay, well, great. But, oh, man. Dude, just the Trump shit come up. Whoa. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, dude, we're talking about Kyle Rittenhouse, the difference between you making a moral judgment that he shouldn't have went there, which I can agree with that. Mm-hmm. That goes down to when we were out on Regimented, when we were still on Regimented, or the Unregimented show, whatever the fuck, because it kind of is two distinct things. And that story got brought up. This was me. 2 groups of people went down there looking for trouble. They found each other. They found trouble.
And trouble was had. What the problem is? Cause and effect.
Fish is going to swim.
Pretty much.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like I told you the other night, Rich. Kyle Rittenhouse needs to watch The Lion King, the animated version, when Mufasa and Simba are sitting on the hill, and all of this land is yours. You can go anywhere. What's that dark area, Dad? Ooh, that's the Badlands. Simba, don't go there. Yeah, Kyle, what's the Badland? where everybody's sitting there rioting and burning. Don't fucking go. Don't go. Okay? I get it. You're a patriot and you want to help and you want to rescue and you want to, okay, when you grow up, do all of that. Become, a cop or an EMT or whatever it is your heart desires. Right now, you're a 17-year-old kid, all right? If the professionals don't handle it, that's on them. Leave it alone. Don't go. It's called common sense. But no, it escapes him, and down he went. And for whatever reason, had to have an AR-15 for good measure because, when I'm putting out bonfires and trying to help people that are hurt, I need an AR-15. I don't know why, but I need it.
And let's be honest here. AR-15 walking in certain parts of the country, you're gonna get some fucking strange looks. Like, did you think Red Dawn was the news? That was a movie, asshole. We're not being it. Motherfucker, we are children of the corn country. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes. We are not being invaded. What are you walking around strapped like with the tactical fucking shoulder holster for? That's more likely what you're gonna get. But he's 17. I do believe he's a flag saluting motherfucker. He's one of those people who thinks that the more he does good, the more it proves his worth to the people that he's trying to earn approval from.
Right.
And okay, great, man. That's a lot of people at a young age. A lot of people do a lot of stupid shit when they're young. That's why we don't let 14-year-olds sign up for the military or, I personally, 21 should be voting age. Sorry.
Pretty much.
I mean,
yeah, seriously.
14-year-old
in the military, they're hunkered down in the building. I got it, coach.
You know what? Well, yeah,
I guess I didn't have it.
Well, it's like with anything else. It depends on your political party and how you're aligned. Democrats want 16-year-olds to be able to vote, but they're like, we want to raise the age of everything else to 21, smoking, drinking, join the military, all this shit. And it's like, yeah, because the numbers favor the Democrats. The larger the turnout, the better chance the Democrats have of winning. That's just how the numbers play out. That's it. That's why they're doing this.
You're going to open up a floodgate of shit going down that road, Rich.
Well, hold on. Because the Republicans are the opposite. They want to fucking raise the age, but then they want to lower the age. You can keep lowering the age, you can go into the military. And I'm sorry, but to me, it's a little irritating to think that there's 17-year-olds out there serving in forward combat positions. Because I don't know how I'd feel about that if I'm some fucking 22, 23, 2 tours gunnery sergeant, and I got a 17-year-old boot motherfucker who's responsible for keeping me alive. And it's already a full-time job keeping me alive myself. Now I got to worry about keeping his ass alive because he's a dumbass kid. Come on, man. Because what do dumbass kids do? Dumbass kids go in the middle of a riot where they can carry a rifle and be like, I'm here to help, and then be shocked when they get attacked. Really? And let's be honest here. No riot. He probably isn't even given a second look. Someone just probably calls the cops on his ass. Cops come out, turns into a fucking YouTube video. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a right to be here, blah, 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 blah. They arrest him. They take it in. They measure the gun. Oh, you know what? Rifle is shorter than the law says. Legally, he's allowed to carry. We're sorry, Mr. Rittenhouse. Have a nice day. That's what happens if no riot's going. Yeah. Riot going on, people are emboldened to do dumb shit. Like, go to a riot at 17 years old with a fucking rifle. Yeah. I'm here to help. Well, thank you, Ralph Wiggum. Appreciate it. But no, I mean, but you should, that's the irritating part.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, this is when, okay, so the facts of the Rittenhouse case, we couldn't agree on one fucking fact. And then this person pivoted starts talking about Trump. And I'm like, what the fuck does Trump have to do with any of this? And not like Trump said this about the Rittenhouse case. Trump said this. Trump tweeted this. What? Not that. It's just flat out, well, this is what happens. Just like January 6th, Trump gets his white supremacist. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right, we'll get back to that in a second. But I'm taking notes on this conversation because there's so much bullshit coming out. And I'm like, white supremacist. Write that down for later. Okay, and keep going. I feel like I'm people's fucking therapist. But anyways,
dude, seriously, Joe Biden called him a white supremacist.
But so and he goes, this is what happens, just like January 6th, when he incites violence in his supporters. And I was like, okay, so if you think that Trump incited the January 6th insurrection, if you can't hear the air quotes when I said that, get your hearing checked.
I did.
And the mass white supremacists who invaded the Kenosha riot, even though only one of them ended up on trial, I guess. Sure. Okay, cool. If you want to charge Trump with that, okay, cool. Then I want every single person, especially politicians, who told the mostly peaceful rioters not to go home, and the political action committees who were raising bail money for fucking rioters so they could get out and put them back on the streets and go right back to rioting. I want them tried because they were all fucking inciting riots as well. Nope, that never happened. And I'm like, that never happened. No. And I'm like, Maxine Waters flat out told she was talking to the protesters. Oh, so what are the rioters? Rioters were just people. Well, actually, and I'm like, go ahead, put on tinfoil hat. I was waiting for it. They didn't go down this road, but I was waiting for there was no rioters that were part of the protesters. That's all CIA agents, or some shit like that. And it's like, go ahead, dude, because once you go down that road, and this is not just what do you call it, as a thought experiment. It's not hey, let's just play around in fucking Neverland for a second and see what's going on. No, when you start presenting this shit as facts, I'm going to go, now that is when prove it, because I'm going to need to see the video of that shit.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
In the U.S. Army, you can make a choice to make your mark. With over 150 fields to choose from, join forces with us and take on anything.
This is Peacock. I love it! It's streaming your favorite shows, movies, live sports, breaking news, exclusive originals. It's The Office. That's what she said. Chrisley Knows Best.
It's gonna be Todd's Way or the Highway.
And Peacock original shows like Punky Brewster.
Holy macanoli.
So whether you're in the mood for every live WWE pay-per-view or every episode of Law & Order SVU, Peacock's got you covered. Peacock. Watch for free, upgrade for more. Stream now at peacocktv.com.
Dan, Saatva is the best mattress choice for us. After all, how could you go wrong with their risk-free 180-day in-home trial and 15-year warranty?
That does sound risk-free. Takes me back to some of our risk-free vacations.
You mean that rafting excursion you claimed to be risk-free but ended in a 4-story waterfall? Or the African safari that ended with a flat tire by the lion's den? Or the...
You know what? Let's just order our Saatva.
Get $200 off your purchase of $1,000 or more at saatva.com/200.
Are you in excruciating pain brought on by your son, daughter, or spouse suffering from addiction? The sleepless nights, the constant worry, and the feelings of isolation. Recovery Centers of America wants you to know you're not alone. Addiction destroys families, but if you call Recovery Centers of America today at 1-888-RECOVERY, your loved one can begin to recover, and so can your whole family. At Recovery Centers of America at Lighthouse and Devon, your loved one will be treated with compassion and dignity by expert addiction professionals while recovering in a world-class facility. Family Support Services will give you knowledge, connection, and community so that you can begin to heal and recover as well. Call 1-888-RECOVERY today. Recovery Centers of America accepts insurance, provides transportation, and offers intervention services at no cost. Patients are admitted 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call 1-888-RECOVERY now.
Hi, Derek Campana here. On my show, Wizard of Paws, I help animals get moving again, and hopefully with a lot less pain. Whether it's prosthetics for ponies or braces for beagles, I custom build solutions so they can live their best lives. Every animal has a unique story with pet owners who love them, and it's my goal to find a solution that works for each one of them. Watch Wizard of Paws on BYU TV or the free BYU TV app.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Okay.
I won't even go that far with it. I mean, for the most part, in this particular case, I will agree with each side. And I'd do it right in front of both of them. Yes, you were both right. It can happen because here's the problem. Okay? One of you is arguing a legal standpoint. One of you is arguing a moral standpoint and a common sense standpoint at that. You're not arguing the same thing. You are arguing literally apples and oranges. From a legal standpoint, he had every right to do every single thing that kid did. From a legal standpoint. From a moral and a common sense standpoint, there should have been absolutely no kid, no rioters, none of that shit. So they're right too. But you're not going to get at that. You're not going to get that through their head because they think them or me or you, Rich, or somebody that they're talking to is going to get that law changed to make them 100% right. Well, you're not, because we're not changing any laws.
Sure, it's that deep on a certain type of person who are ideologues to this extent. I mean, at this point, and you're an ideological zealot. You are basically the Spanish Inquisition's, however you want to put it, the head of the propaganda department, whatever the fuck. But these people, I think it's just they want to be right. And on top of it, the bubbles that they're in, they want to be well liked. And so it's constantly up the rhetoric. Well, this person says this should happen. Well, fuck it. I'm going to go out and say this should happen. I mean, dude, this is remember all the panic over the fucking Michigan militias in the 90s here in Michigan?
Yep.
Or just militias in general in the 90s because, Waco and, Oklahoma City, et cetera. All right. It's like, okay, you understand that most of those people, you understand that most of those people that like the vast majority of people that are in this shit and walk around and call themselves part of a militia, they literally couldn't run the length of a football field butt naked with a strong wind at their back. Like let alone with a, 70-pound rucksack in full BDUs, and under actual combat conditions. Give me a fucking break. It's like the vast majority of people running around online talking this Antifa shit. Most of those people will never go to a fucking protest, will never participate in the protest, will never do anything but sit around and call people names online.
Yeah, they're this new term, the influencers.
Sure, whatever. And no, I mean, because you're right, but it's just like I'm really over this Orwellian fucking overhaul of language because all of a sudden we have a couple generations who think that they have God and divine right to change everything because old is dumb. Okay. That's how societies crumble. I mean, you have to start over at the fucking bottom again.
Yep.
Because you don't pay attention to what worked and what didn't work. And so you start repeating the same fucking mistakes. But whatever. Fuck it. This is what, like I said, those two things, and then going online and reading the comment sections and reading how people are just literally going back and forth. And I swear to God, I used to say this 20 years ago. Stop treating politics like it's sports.
Oh, yeah.
Stop, okay? Your sports team, if you are just a fan of the sports team, your sports team has a real easy metric for success and failure, wins and losses. I mean, you can keep it as reductionist as that, or you could get into advanced statistics and the politics of the clubhouse and then politics between the owner and the general manager and the president of operations and et cetera, et cetera. Or you could just go, I like this team and they won and that's all that matters to me. And there's a whole plethora of do in between there.
Oh, yeah.
The problem with treating politics like sports is that now people who have a knowledge of the most casual, my team won, yay, fan, are now thinking they're fucking like Noam Chomsky or something. And I'm like, you're not an intellectual. And I don't mean the bougie ass left wing, ultra left, the true left. I'm a Marxist Leninist and I have 15 college degrees because no one would pay me in the real world to talk this bullshit. You know, and it's like, of course you do. You're a professional fucking student. You couldn't hack it in the real world, so you stayed in college until they gave you a job. We get it, all right? Not those intellectuals. I'm talking questioning, searching, looking for the truth intellectuals. They're not that. And that's fine. Not everyone needs to be the exact same thing. But it's just watching these people go back and forth and never, ever acknowledge the reality of the situation. And then watching the people from like other countries who have no idea about our laws, have no idea how this country works, sometimes don't even have that great of a grasp of the fucking English language in a chat situation or in a commenting situation. Yet all of a sudden they're going to proclaim they're experts on the situation and stir the pot further. And people are eating it up. And like 3 or 4 people in a 3,000 comment thread came in and basically said what you said, Earl. Like, look, legally in that state, he didn't break the law. Morally, that's a shitty fucking thing to do. He went knocking on the devil's door. The devil answered. Common sense wise, that's a bunch of Darwin Award winners. Like, seriously, if they had a band and they started it, I'd name them God's Waiting Room. Because they're just fucking idiots. Like, they're like everybody at the beginning of a Final Destination movie. You know nothing good's going to happen to them in the movie. You're just waiting for it to happen.
It's called Final Destination. Hello.
And then these 3 people in the comment section were dogpiled by both sides. Just savage. Went on their profile, dug through their pictures. Look at your fat ass ugly wife. Look at your ugly ass kids. You probably got cucked. Those ain't your children. Blah, 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 blah. From both sides, who have just spent 3,000 fucking posts arguing the moral superiority and who has the higher standard of principles. Sunk immediately to the bottom.
Yeah, that's what they do, man.
And
that's today's world, dude. They will argue the semantics to show you how right they are. Period. End of file. They will not acknowledge your side. They will not acknowledge your facts. They will not acknowledge your semantics. They stick to their guns. Literally. I'll give you an example. For the people who think that Kyle Rittenhouse is wrong, should be locked up, everything, okay? They're talking about him shooting 3 people. One of these people is a convicted felon. That same person has a pistol. That same person pointed said pistol at Kyle Rittenhouse. They will not acknowledge any of that. What they will tell you is a man saw the guy with the gun with a big rifle and tried to defend himself. Okay, first of all, he is a convicted felon with a pistol committing crimes. You're not going to acknowledge any of that. Nope. He was trying to protect the mass people from the bad man with the rifle. You see what I'm saying, Rich? You can't talk. It's not even argue. You can't talk to people like that because they will stick to their facts, which are, fair enough. They are the facts. They're not a distant reality, but they're facts. They will stick to their semantics. Everything you say does not matter unless it agrees with. When you start saying that the person that Kyle Rittenhouse shot was a convicted felon holding a loaded pistol, committing another felony, they don't want to hear about any of that. What they hear is Kyle Rittenhouse shot a man. Period. End of file. That's it. That's where it stops. You can't talk to people like that because they just live on being right.
So that's the difference between, like, one of the things that I found myself in the last couple of years, especially, that makes me just go, if we can't agree on reality, then I'm not going to talk to you about this subject. It's just, I'm not going to waste either of our time. Is if you just want to be right and that's your end goal, the ends justify the means in your mind. But it's amazing how the means that you justify are the means that get you what you wanted, you winning, quote unquote, the argument, regardless of the truth, regardless of the truth or the facts.
When both sides are sitting here arguing this particular thing with Kyle Rittenhouse, that right there, all of the other shit put aside, that right there ends that argument. Kyle Rittenhouse did have an AR-15. It was legal. He was legal. All legal. The gentleman holding a pistol was a convicted felon. Should not have been there. Should not, legally, okay? Legally, should not have been there committing other crimes. Legally, should not be in possession of a loaded firearm. Now, legal-wise, if you want to argue what's what, Kyle Rittenhouse is 100% right legally. And any other Lee that you want to put it at. You just can't get there because they won't recognize your fact that this is a convicted felon holding a pistol committing another felony. Should not be there. They will not get there because that goes against their point and their whole side. So they're going to tell you, no, that is a man that Kyle Rittenhouse shot. And you just all fucking day long. Should he have been there? Was it illegal for him to carry the gun? Was it bad for, was he chasing them with the gun? Who was chasing who with the gun? I don't need to see videos. It's stupid. Whatever. All boils down to one instant right there. Legally, morally, any other Lee you want to talk about. Kyle Rittenhouse was there. Everything's kosher. Convicted felon with a gun committing another felony. Not supposed to be there in any facet of any way of any lead that you want to talk about. You can't get to that point. All the other semantics are out of it. Completely out of it. The trial included, out of it. You can't get to that point with these people.
Oh, dude, I understand that. And I think a lot of people who've been sitting around going, you know what, it's just not worth fucking getting into the arguments with people about, I'm just going to, whatever. But you know what? People got the right to believe what they want to believe. This is, we
That's
have
basically
allowed,
how I feel. I don't argue with people about it. I'm like, fuck you, okay?
We have allowed the inmates to run the asylum so much and drive the culture wars in this country that they've finally turned such a fucking non-issue in the grand scheme of things into the issue where it's like you either have to deny what reality is, the objective facts, to agree with people who you side, like in my case, who I side with probably, not even probably, on a whole lot more issues than I side with people on the far right. People on the far right, I kind of feel that most of them are fucking nutty ass Christian fucking, tell me when, Lord. I'll push the button, Lord. I'll take us all to heaven. I'll do thy bidding for you. Like, no, fuck you. You're crazy, dude. But these people on the left are just as crazy, but they took this Kyle Rittenhouse shit and they fucking flipped it and they pimped us all with this shit, man. They pimped us all with this shit.
Well, absolutely.
I mean, you brought up one of the, hold on, because I'm about to give you your gold star in person, motherfucker. And you got a couple of them last week. So you get to sit through your award ceremony. You're like Chewbacca. You got your medal. You just got it. But they did that because they were specious. No, I'm sorry. They saw a brown walking rug and was like, no, that AOC, alien of color, cannot have a medal that these white, straight men are getting. Especially the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Nazi poster boy named Skywalker. Sorry. Shit. See how easy it is? Like, jokes write themselves, folks. No, but you brought up a very good point. Like, why the fuck do we care about this? How many fucking trials is self-defense used as a defense in this country per year? How many of them have round-the-clock coverage and just like everybody knows about it? People who don't watch the news have heard the kid's name. They've heard a narrative at least. And see, that's all it is now. Get the narrative out. Meanwhile, what the fuck is going on when we're not paying attention to this shit? And everybody's got their own pet theory. And I understand. We can get into it if you want later, but let's leave the Ghislaine Maxwell thing alone for right now. Because that's one of many. But
what? No, I mean, to stay with you where you're at, they do it all the time, dude. They did it with the white chick that died. They did it with Travis Scott and the crowd that killed people. They've done it definitely with Kyle Rittenhouse. But I mean, I'm a different breed when it comes to this. I didn't know anybody in Astro World. Okay, I don't know anybody who went. I didn't know anybody involved. I barely know who Travis Scott was. I didn't know anybody in Wisconsin involved in any of that, which where Rittenhouse, he was even there before, the whole thing. I didn't know any of them. So I'm like, okay, so while all these people are wasting all this time, worrying about all of these cases and issues, I was out playing with my dog, dude, no lie. When the verdict came in, I was out playing with my dog. I came in, saw it on the telly, and I was like, oh, he's free. Cool kid. Hi. Grabbed another ball and walked back outside. I give two shits, dude. It just does not affect me at all. Not even a little bit.
See, I would like to agree with you, but using the intersectionals crowd, people who everything's racist, everything's sexist, everything's homophobic, and you have to call it out all the time, and everything's connected. So even if it's using their logic, I'm about to turn it back on. Even people like you are being affected. Because here's the deal. You're going to be treated different because someone's going to see you and they're going to assume, for whatever reason, right or wrong, that you lean a certain way politically, and they're going to start treating you as if you rubber stamp all these fucking issues that this quote unquote side does, and you hate everybody on the other side. And they're going to treat you that way. You see what I'm saying? It's the ripple effect. It's what comes out of this shit. You can't. This is the problem with the personal is politics. This is the problem with that type of thinking, because everything becomes politicized. Everything becomes a tool to wedge more power into your camp. Instead of going, you understand that, like, what you call privileged, like people who are privileged are just people who are actually treated by the rights that they have. Like, do people understand that?
Because they have enough money to make sure they're treated with the rights they have? Because
exactly,
they're in so much trouble.
Okay, you're not privileged that your rights are not being violated. Nobody's rights are supposed to be violated. You are privileged that you got the money to fight off the fucking state and the corporations trying to take your rights from. That's what you're privileged to do. But the problem is, where do you get the fucking money? Because the only two entities in this country or in this world who are going to pay enough, well, maybe three, Catholic Church, one of the major, major countries in the world's governments, China, Russia, U.S., Japan, maybe, shit like that. Get government jobs in those, countries, you're pretty much set for life. Haven't we said this our entire life? Oh, that's a government job or a city job or a county, state job? Shit, man. Once you're in, dude. And what's the other thing? Private sector. Okay. Well, now you got corporations. They don't give a fuck. Their bottom line is every 4 months our profit margin needs to grow. Anything else is unacceptable. So it doesn't matter if they leave just scorched earth behind them as long as their profit margins grow. Problem is that we ain't getting off this rock, and especially in numbers enough to open up Walmarts on the moon anytime soon. So I don't know where eventually you will burn through people and resources and fuck shit up in the name of ever increasing profit margins. So who do you serve? What master do you serve? Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh, most definitely. Yep. I call it the rescue plan from Michigan. People that left Michigan after being there most of their life, they'll understand. I don't get pulled back into it. Really, I don't. It's very easy for me to just walk away from it and go, yeah, I'll deal with that shit. Moreover, not just leaving Michigan, but losing my wife, my first wife. It just showed me I ain't got time for all that. You think I'm a white supremacist because I'm big, I'm white, and I'm bald? Great. Thank you for thinking of me. That's time that you spend on me. I appreciate you.
How dare you genetic shame me? Because I have weaker hair follicles. I'm a victim. Okay? I was going bald at 17. Did you go bald at 17? No, you didn't. Take mini seats. Like, just treat them like they treat everybody else. And once they start realizing how stupid, but see, it won't work. It doesn't matter because it's not. It's stupid. It really doesn't. Stupid because it's coming. One, because they've already looked at you and made the decision internally. And see, this is why. Well, we need to get rid of prejudice and racism. How? Because prejudice is I'm judging a situation or a person based on prior experience. I'm prejudging, okay? I'll say the bit again. Teresa O'Neill. White people, if I was in Harlem at 1 a.m. and I was walking down the street and I saw a group of 4 young African Americans walking towards me, I wouldn't cross the street. That's racist. And Patrice O'Neill, who was black, was like, "Run, you dumbass cracker! What the fuck? Run, bitch! Are you serious?"
One more time, common sense, folks.
Like,
get some.
I'd cross the motherfucking street at 1 o'clock in the morning in Harlem, and you can get. He didn't say brothers, so just replace that with the magic word that we're not allowed to say. You know, I see 4 brothers walking towards me. I'm out. It's like if I'm in Alabama at 1 a.m. and I see 4 white guys with shaved heads walking towards me at 1 a.m, I'm not going to think, oh, they're coming back from cancer class or whatever. You know, hey, how you doing? Hey, chemo. You know, I'll shave my head in solidarity. No, I'm going to think there's a bunch of fucking skinhead crazy ass crackers. They're going to kill me across the street. Better to be racist and alive in your own mind than tolerant dead to the world. But see, once again, that's just a survival instinct kicking in that these people don't have and don't realize. And looking at the Kyle Rittenhouse situation, that fool, he's 17, dude. At 17, you remember, we thought we were invincible, and the world
invincible at 17.
and the world was, and you know, so many of your problems come from that. You truly still believe that, and that's why you're in a lot of the situations you've been in.
It's so true.
You've brought so much pain upon yourself with your delusional bullshit, and it's just like, here you go, folks. You don't want to go through this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I'm trying to tell these fucking kids. Like, he went down there and won't happen to me. Won't happen to me. And here's the deal. I'm surprised he kept his trigger discipline. I'm surprised he kept discipline as well as he did.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I ain't running. First of all, real gangsta ass brothers don't run well or fast because real gangsta ass brothers don't run. Well, I guess I'm a gangsta ass cracker. I au fait, whatever you want to call it. I ain't running. So I'm gonna turn around and be like,
I'm a fat, lazy white bastard. I don't run either.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like Paulie and Goodfellas. I don't move fast because I don't have to, and I don't want to either. And especially if I got a rifle, hey, back the fuck up, man. And that's the only chance you're gonna have, and that's as good of an offer as you're gonna get. And guess what? If y'all rush me, I'll just start firing wildly. So, who wants to die first?
Seriously, real
I'm
talk.
leaving,
If
and y'all
I
go
was
back
there,
to burning and sit down.
if I was there and Kyle wasn't, and it's just a hypothetical, I would never. But if I was, I would have not gotten hit by that skateboard. No.
No, and that dude coming in trying to fucking Mortal Kombat, the flying kick at him and shit.
Yep.
Nope. Like, I'd have been like, hey, back the fuck up. And so I'm heading that way. I'm leaving. I thought it was this type of party. No, y'all sticking your dick in the mashed potatoes. Not my type party. I'm leaving. Y'all can go back to burning the city down. I'm good.
Right, I was an apple pie fucker. My bad. I'm out. Yeah, no, I'm with
literally
you
an apple pie mom, apple pie baseball, an American flag. But dude, I guarantee you went down there with that attitude. That's people were like, oh, look at him fake crying. I'm like, that's some ugly ass crying he was doing.
In the courtroom?
Oh yeah, and when he got acquitted.
Oh yeah, dude, he dropped. That was real as it gets. He thought he was gone.
That boy was like,
he had 5 charges. He thought one of them were gonna stick.
Oh yeah, they were. I thought for sure. I was like, they're gonna have to throw one to appease. And it's like, dude, you understand that? Like, my father was 2 years older than that kid when he killed a man in Vietnam.
Yep.
And up until I know for 100% fact, because the man told me from his lips to my ears, 5 years before he died, that it still fucking haunted him.
Oh,
and that's why he didn't talk about it. But I've been around enough vets. There's some that love to talk about it. And those are the ones I'm like, are you crazy or are you bullshit? Because most people talk all this bullshit about, I kill a motherfucker in a heartbeat. Most people don't realize how violence in real life is not like TV. It is not.
No.
And when you see people who think they're going to die, you're liable to see anything. I mean, they could go into a fucking berserker rage of some sort and lash out at everyone around them. And that's probably a best case scenario because it's probably increasing their chances of at least getting out of the situation, but it's going to fuck up everybody's chance. Their chances, people around them who wanted to kill them or hurt them, their odds just started getting worse. But I mean, dude, I've seen people beg. I've seen people cry, piss and shit themselves in just fights. Just fights that no one was near dying, dude. Nobody. And I mean, like, now take that and multiply it by how many times you think this dude's trying to kill you. And you're just like, please don't, please. Come on, dude. So for people, it's what I'm saying, like, especially that guy that caught one in the arm. That's a dumbass.
That's the felon who pointed his gun at him.
Yeah, he's a dumbass.
He even said on the stand. So
no, he did not shoot.
You pointed your gun at him, right? Yep. And then he shot you? Yep.
And that's when the prosecutor's buddy at the desk did a face palm.
Serious face palm. Dude, just bam.
I was like, oh my God. That's touchdown.
Yeah.
The Cubs win. Like, it's just... What more do you fucking need? At that point, I was like, "Oh wow, bro, are you a plant for the defense? Did they buy Are you an NBA ref in your off time? Like, are you capable of being bought? Because, dude, that was just there's my foot. Oh shit, I don't have a foot anymore. Yes, and you did that. Why?
I mean, other than perjuring himself, what was he supposed to say? It was on camera.
Oh, God, was it? Yeah, it was strange, dude. For a split second, I started to have OJ flashbacks.
If it doesn't fit, it quit. You must have quit.
No, not particular, not of any one particular moment. I'm just talking about the trial because it was like, I've heard about this for more than 3-4 days. Oh, how long are they going to drag this shit out? And it was like 3 weeks. I was like, okay. Because that OJ shit was a year and a half. And it's like, I know it ain't going no year and a half, but it's just like, dude, seriously. Like,
you know what, though? I wonder.
Absolute nonsense.
I do wonder if somebody came into Kyle's house right now and was like, man, they are terrorizing these girls and burning their houses down 2 blocks from here. What would Kyle Rittenhouse do now? I mean, that just
sit there, light a cigarette, and be like, from the front porch, point and look. Go, look at that! Just smoking a cigarette. Well,
I mean, it just beckons the question: what would happen? Would he finally bow out and call 911, let them handle it? Would he put on his cape and his AK or his AR and go running?
I don't know, dude. And I'll tell you this is the honest to God's truth. I told this to Doc. I was like, hey man, if this kid's smart, he disappears like Steve fucking Bartman.
Oh, very much so.
Like you
changes his name, changes everything.
Yeah. You used up all your in the spotlight in America luck in one go. Like you will never ever do anything that will make your life easier in the spotlight. Go live in a fucking log cabin somewhere.
Right, but at the same time, though, I really hope his family has him some really good lawyers and is suing the news and the president for defamation of character, labeling him and having everybody think he's a white supremacist. I really do, because he should get a lot of money from that. Because this kid went over there, we already argued the semantics, but at the end of the day, he went over there to defend businesses owned by Arabs. He is a white kid defending businesses owned by Arabs. He shot 3 white people. If this kid is a white supremacist, he has the award for the worst fucking white supremacist in the United States history of white supremacy. Like, go lead the Fourth Reich. You are the worst fucking white supremacists I've ever seen.
If we were playing Axis and Allies, you wouldn't even get past your first turn.
Seriously.
You're horrible, dude. Like, you're right, but here's the thing. That lawsuit ain't never going to see the inside of the courtroom.
No,
he's going to get himself.
Money.
Hold on, motherfucker. Hold on. Yes, he's going to hire the same motherfucking lawyer for the white kid with the MAGA hat who had the dude banging the fucking drum in his face in D.C. And most of the fucking mainstream media jumped on like, oh, look at this white privileged teenager antagonizing this noble Native American. And it's like, if they'd have just watched more than 5 seconds of footage, they'd have saw the fact that guy walked right up to that kid and singled him out and started doing that. And there was 30 other kids standing there with MAGA hats on. I mean, it wasn't like the kid was like, hey, fuck you, Pocahontas, or some shit like that. It was not like, and on top of that, there was like these, the Black Israelites or whatever. You ever seen them motherfuckers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh God. They're my favorite crazies. Cause it's like seriously, like if there were baseball cards of crazies, I would have the complete team. Like I'm a fan of your brand of crazy because your brand of crazy is batshit crazy. It is just pure hatred. That you white man, you the devil. Ain't nothing you can do about it. You the devil. And that's just all there is to it. And I mean, you can try to be good as much as you want, but a snake cannot be a bird, my brother. You are just evil. You the devil. And it's just like, this is beautiful. And they were saying this bullshit to him in the same fucking video. It was edited out, dude. And I'm just sitting there like, it was one of the videos I was like, I think we should play it on the show if you're going to sit here and call me a liar and say that video doesn't exist. And the usual suspects were like,
just sitting there screaming, hand held high in a fist, screaming, "Let my people speak!" Out there.
Yeah, I was just pissed, man. I was like, kind of want to hear him talk, man. I'm like, that shit kind of fires me up. I mean, they're like, we hate you, Whitey. We hate you. We'll go out there and win one for the Gipper, man. All right. And it's like, yeah, I'm coming out to Tono like Rudy. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's do this. Like, seriously, I'm ready to take some shit on, bro.
Jump on the stage like Chris Farley. Kill Whitey.
Whitey, no. That's not what you're... I have a dream. But anyways, he hired a lawyer and sued him, and they were like, come on, dude. How much this ain't going to court. We're the media. This ain't going to court. We're a protected class. How much to get you to go away?
And once again, we revisit what we just said earlier on this very program. If you have the money, you're a privileged motherfucker.
Oh, dude, a lawyer like that? Oh, God. Dude, I got to imagine he'd take it just like 33%.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what I mean, this is the MAGA hat kid, right? I don't know what the fuck he got for sure, and I'm not going to bother to look it up. But like, let's say he got $250,000, right? 33% of that before taxes, before anything comes out of it. That's the lawyer's take. Then there's the lawyer's fees. So you could probably just give half of it to the lawyer. And then I'm imagining he's probably going to have to pay court fees. So there's probably another, maybe 10 to 15 grand.
No. If it settles out like that, the plaintiff is paying, or the media would pay. The media would have paid whatever they are, independent, whatever.
Gotcha. All right. Well, okay, but still, I mean, like, oh yeah, dude. Like, and on top of it, just to make your name, get your face in front of people. People do a lot dumber shit with no chance of any return just to get some clout, whether it be on the internet, with their circle of friends, with their family. But I mean, dude, he's going to get paid, and you know what? Fuck it. Cancel the fucking the news. Hashtag cancel the news. Seriously. You like this medicine? But here's the deal. They'll bury that fucking story. They'll bury it. Independent news places, up and coming news places, they'll bring it up. Like The Hill will probably bring it up, and OAN and The Blaze and Young Turks and, all these independent, basically fringe news fucking website, boutique news websites. But they only bring it up because they're just all going after fucking what they call the legacy media. mainstream media.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Are you in excruciating pain brought on by your son, daughter, or spouse suffering from addiction? You are not alone. If you call Recovery Centers of America today at 1-888-RECOVERY, your whole family can begin to recover. At Recovery Centers of America at Lighthouse and Devon, your loved one will be treated with care by expert addiction professionals, while family programming will give you support and healing so that you can recover as well. RCA accepts insurance, provides transportation, and offers intervention services. Call 1-888-RECOVERY now.
Hi, Derek Campana here. On my show, Wizard of Paws, I help animals get moving again, and hopefully with a lot less pain. Whether it's prosthetics for ponies or braces for beagles, I custom build solutions so they can live their best lives. Every animal has a unique story with pet owners who love them, and it's my goal to find a solution that works for each one of them. Watch Wizard of Paws on BYU TV or the free BYU TV app.
Addiction is a disease that impacts all of us. Whether you, your neighbor, friend, or family member is struggling, everyone feels the pain of addiction. Recovery Centers of America wants you to know that addiction treatment works and recovery is possible. Call 1-888-RECOVERY now for help for yourself or a loved one. Recovery Centers of America Lighthouse have helped thousands in the South Jersey area start a better, healthier way of life through their evidence-based inpatient and outpatient treatment programs. The caring team of physicians and clinicians at RCA see their patients as so much more than their addiction and are deeply committed to providing expert care with heart. Recovery Centers of America knows that every day in active addiction is a day in isolation, which is why they admit new patients 24/7 year-round. Don't wait. Make the call that can change everything. Call 1-888-RECOVERY now. That's 1-888-RECOVERY. Addiction is a disease that impacts all of us. Whether you, your neighbor, friend, or family member is struggling, everyone feels the pain of addiction. Recovery Centers of America wants you to know that addiction treatment works and recovery is possible. Call 1-888-RECOVERY now for help for yourself or a loved one. Recovery Centers of America Lighthouse have helped thousands in the South Jersey area start a better, healthier way of life through their evidence-based inpatient and outpatient treatment programs. The caring team of physicians and clinicians at RCA see their patients as so much more than their addiction and are deeply committed to providing expert care with heart. Recovery Centers of America knows that every day in active addiction is a day in isolation, which is why they admit new patients 24/7 year-round. Don't wait. Make the call that can change everything. Call 1-888-RECOVERY now. That's 1-888-RECOVERY.
Hi, Derek Campana here. On my show, Wizard of Paws, I help animals get moving again, and hopefully with a lot less pain. Whether it's prosthetics for ponies or braces for beagles, I custom build solutions so they can live their best lives. Every animal has a unique story with pet owners who love them, and it's my goal to find a solution that works for each one of them. Watch Wizard of Paws on BYU TV or the free BYU TV app.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
And I mean, the mainstream media is, that's another thing. Mainstream media has lost a lot of its fucking viewers. It is the baby boomers and a very tiny sliver of the oldest of the oldest of the, the oldest of the old, pretty much of Gen X that are keeping their shit afloat. It really is.
Well, I mean, yeah, because that's, you know, Chris and I talk about it a couple of times, and I tell everybody, did President Trump, was he a great president, bad president? I don't give a flying fuck. History will tell its tale. However, he was the first one in a very long time that did what a president should do. He held people's foot to the fire. This motherfucker's out here, fake news, that's fake, that's wrong, fake. And to everybody, he did it even to Fox once. I was like, oh, careful, Fox. And then, you know, telling the stories and all the secrets that go on behind the scenes. I've said it ever since he became president. When both sides of the aisle are going, shut up, You're doing something right, because that's, when both sides of the aisle are going, shut up, please get the hell out of here. You're doing something for the people. Whether you mean to do it for the people or just want to cause a stir, it helped us.
The Republican Party has, beyond a shadow of a doubt, figured out how to weaponize Trump for their own purposes. And I don't doubt that even if the man was to drop dead of a heart attack right now, he would still have an effect on how certain percentage of people voted in 2024 and next year in 2022 during the midterms. Republicans are going to ride him as much until the wheels fall off. Kind of like they tried to do with Reagan, but then it was just like between the 1-2 punch of Slick Willie and fucking W, dude, Reagan just kind of got lost in the shuffle.
Well, exactly. But here's the problem for Democrats. They're going to rerun Joe as the incumbent. And dude, sorry, not sorry. Hold up. No, I'm sorry, not sorry. I'm going to have to pull a Chris here. Oh, the fuck? You don't know that, dude. And there's a serious divide in the Democratic fucking National Committee about. No, you're right. I'm not 100%, but it's been very, very, very long ago.
You know what his. I'll bullshit. And then I'll let you say what you want to say. His approval ratings are like low 40s, high 30s.
Uh-huh.
And this is not like Fox News, MSNBC News. These are places who just gather raw information. Kamala, whatever the fuck her name is. VP Kamala. VP Harris, her numbers are even lower than his across the board. People hate her. So they would have to primary that ticket out. And that's where it's like, holy shit. That's open fucking civil war in the Democratic Party. I don't know if they really want to fucking go for it right now. But here's the thing. In my opinion, you overplayed your hand. You know why a lot of people hate Biden who aren't Republicans? Because he's not a progressive. He's not even very much a liberal. He's pretty much a nothing. It's the people, whoever is behind him going, here's what you're agreeing to, here's what you're pushing, Mr. President. I mean, it's kind of like what happened at the later stages of the Reagan presidency, the last like two years, definitely.
Yep.
He's just given his marching orders, and he can carry it out like a wind-up doll. But when he gets off fucking point,
the problem
that's what I'm saying.
He can't.
He's also the least seen in public president in his first almost year since probably before Kennedy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like seriously. Like how often do you hear him talk? And that seems like now every time you hear like he has some sort of talk and there's cameras rolling, there's some fuck up to add to his compilation best of tape.
Well, because that's who he is, man. My wife, no bullshit. My wife is like, oh, don't laugh at him. I can't help it. I mean, seriously, the comedians of this country have to be pissed because they used to make fun of presidents. They used to have to come up with shit to make fun of them. This one, just play the tape. They were like, George W. Bush had the attention span of a 1-year-old, man. He was like, we are going to go into, oh, look at the kitty. They used to have to come up with shit. Now, Biden, every single time this man speaks, he gets lost on something. The man is fucked in the head. And I can't help but laugh because he's the president and he's supposed to be the best of all of us and leading the whole country and standing strong and united we stand, all that good shit. And then you look at him and you're like, I wouldn't follow this motherfucker to a bathroom. If I had to piss real bad because I would get lost, I would end up at the fucking shipping dock going, better than nothing. I gotta go. Yes.
Well, I mean, dude, all easy, low-hanging fruit jokes aside about Biden, which there are a lot to be had, I absolutely admit, and they're great. But I mean, there's realities of the situation. Like, he's not that much different than fucking Trump as far as his economic policies and shit, in the ways that the people who are donating the most money manage to get the most look the other way and breaks from the government. Shocking, I know. And by the way, it's usually the same groups the same corporations, the same whatever, paying both parties. It's like, okay, the NRA even donates to the Democratic Party. We read the numbers on the regiment. It's like in the millions of dollars.
Right, but I mean,
it's ridiculous.
There is very huge separates. For example, oil. You know, Trump was all about look the other way, tap our reserve, turn that shit on, let's get it going. Did he get money from somebody? Obviously he did. But as soon as Biden got in there, shut it off, and he'll get money maybe less than what our oil places are paying, but still got money and turned it off. So whereas you're right, there's a lot of places that are in the gray area that'll support whoever's there. Just keep letting me do my thing. There is huge divides, and it costs the country dearly. And seriously, it goes back to that question of pick your poison, pick lesser of the two evils. You know, we joke about Hillary and Trump and all of this. You know, pick the lesser of the two evils. Whoever runs. But that comes down, unfortunately, to the fucking truth every single time. At some point, when a Republican comes in, gas prices are going to fall, supplies, building supplies, all of that, those costs are going to go down. You know, certain things are going to boom, and it's going to flip as soon as a Democrat gets in there.
But dude, it's not that way. Dude, it's just not that way. It's not a hard and fast rule 100% of the time, cause and effect. Gas prices started rising under Bush well before fucking the 2008 election was decided.
Right.
Right? I mean, gas prices didn't go down like they did until COVID hit, and we went into the first 2 weeks of the last 500 and some days of flattening the curve.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, dude, see, I just don't think Trump. Hold on. I let you say everything. Here's my point. Okay, dude, you're telling me that you really think a businessman as greasy, dirty, filthy, and with as much dirt in his fucking that he's done, and as many skeletons in his closet, as many cemeteries in his closet that he has, is just going to, out the kindness of his fucking heart, do all this shit? No, he's getting wealthier off of it. And he's making sure people who are helping him or enabling him to stay wealthy are also going to get wealthy off of it because, well, shit trickles down. All he's doing is what politicians do. He was just doing it out in the fucking open a lot more. Our politicians do it, and then they go, oh, yeah, but look over here. There's this Kyle Rittenhouse shit going on.
Oh, they distract the fuck out of you.
Yeah, we don't. Pronouns, dude. Pronouns. You need to unfriend and block family and refuse to go to Thanksgiving because you disagree with someone politically over like this Kyle Rittenhouse shit. This is my favorite thing. My friends who posted, if you don't agree with me and my take on this Kyle Rittenhouse thing, delete me because I'm going to find you and delete you anyways. And I'm just like, do you understand how powerless you are? And you just refuse to admit it. You think that that's a power move? You are literally cutting friends and family out of your life who have a track record of proving to be in your corner way more than anybody involved in this situation will ever be in your corner. They don't even care to know your name. And you're willing to fucking cut people out of your life. You're sick.
Oh, yeah.
You're sick, bro.
Oh,
that's a very sick mentality.
And it's so funny to me, and I mean funny, literally, that we have to worry about calling these kids, and I do say kids under 20, pronouns, and they get to pick their gender, but yet they can't vote, they can't join the military, they can't drink, they can't smoke, but they get to pick their gender. Are you fucking kidding me?
This is what was said on Unregimented fucking years ago. Okay, when people were like, why are you even talking about this? And I'm like, because it's going to be the next big thing in the news. Watch. It's not that I'm psychic. You can just see what wedge issues are coming once you see the pattern and you know what to look for. It's not that hard. It's like anything else. You just have to figure it out. And I mean, here's the deal. Way more intelligent, way more educated people than us have published books. There are entire schools of thought studying this type of shit. It's just, oh, God. Sorry. I lost where I was going. It's so frustrating because it's like, I see where this shit goes and I see, like, look, I get it, dude. Trump is more to your liking. He's the puppet. He's the puppet. He's the puppet who fucking is like, okay, I'm going to, here's the problem. Instead of going, master, who's holding the strings, may I please take with both hands now? Instead of doing that, he just walked up in there and was like, nice place, motherfucker, and pulled a fucking fuck your couch moment to the whole country. Got paid and walked the fuck out. Of course you fucking love that. I know you well enough to know. Of course that's going to appeal to you.
No, dude,
That's
seriously.
Bro, come on, dude.
No, real talk, man. It has nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the president finally came in and said what was up. You're right, 100%, and I say this all the time. It doesn't matter who's in office, who's in president, who's in Congress. It does not matter. Just had a discussion with Chris about this online. Wish you were here, Chris. With the loopholes in place, both sides get cash, okay? We're going to vote whoever we choose to vote for, and then once they get into D.C., their vote gets bought, okay? It does not matter what side of the aisle they're on. They're going to be bought, flat out.
Well,
the only thing I like about Trump, is that he talked about that, is that he said the back shady deals. Yeah, that he kicked open the door and was like, why are y'all being so goddamn quiet? We're the government up in this motherfucker.
Well, that's what I said, man. Basically, he walked in and was just like, oh, I'm gonna cook meth on the front yard. I ain't gonna put that shit in the fucking basement.
Right, exactly.
I'm the president. Come and suck this presidential dick is what you can do.
Right.
I mean, and it's like...
And both of his neighbors was like, would you shut the fuck up and get back in the basement before they realize what we're doing? Yes.
You cannot deny. You cannot deny. All right. Take you out of the equation. Okay. Trump supporters, a large section of Trump supporters love that about him. That he did that. That he's that type of guy. You know why? Because they feel so fucking powerless in their life. He comes in and goes, I'll be powerful for you. And your life is no better or no worse off.
Right. They're a huge amount of Trump supporters actually believes the shit he says. Make America great again, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do this. And yeah, I totally get it. I get it. I'm not with that. I'm not. The only thing I like about Trump is that he pulls back the curtain at the end of the brick road. It says, here, watch, I don't give a flying fuck. And the only reason I like that is because he pisses off both sides of the aisle. Because both Republican and Democrat, for whatever reason, we're the only fucking country with a two-party system, and it's supposed to be the best way. Anyways, both of them are like, next, somebody please, anybody at all, somebody get in here, get this motherfucker out of here. It's the only reason.
That's what Biden was, man. Biden was supposed to be an appeal to the center. And problem is, once again, the people that I'm talking about who hate Biden but aren't like to the right of the political spectrum, these are the so-called progressives. These are the people who hate liberals. They don't like liberals. Mm-hmm. They don't like it. Liberals and conservatives are the same thing to them. They want and once again, what do you want? You ask 10 of them, you get 10 different fucking answers. Okay, no to all of that. Because you guys, real simple question. What happens the day after the revolution? How do you, because you just, okay, you won, you're in power now. And let's say it went as peaceful as possible. So supply lines and supply chains aren't fucked up and all this other shit and all the logistics of keeping the country rolling and the economy is going. Tell me what the day after you win. How do you start? Thank you. We're done.
You put Kyle Rittenhouse on the steps of the White House and say, all right, only a nice, caring, very well-mannered person steps into this motherfucker. Or else.
Fuck that. Take the Marines and get the Marines out them dress blues, put them in some fucking BDUs and send them out there. Hey, you know what? That's who I want watching my back. I want fucking people who are trained to kill, not a motherfucker who went looking for dumb shit. He really wanted to do some shit. He could have signed up for the military. Notice his ass ain't signed up yet, and he's 18.
Here's my answer, and it's far from a quote-unquote revolution, okay? We do need a march. We need people to stop and stay home. You know, shut this country down until our congressmen and our leaders, quote unquote, if you didn't hear it, once again, go shut this motherfucker down until they listen to us. You have got to make those people honest. We put them there. All right, people like Chris will tell you, if you don't like it, change your vote. Go vote for somebody else. It does not fucking matter who you put there. They are bought and paid for the minute they put the pin on that says Congress. So it does not matter who you vote for, how many votes you cast. Doesn't matter. Shit's bought and paid for. You've got to clean that up. You've got to stop talking about, we're going to get schools and infrastructure. We're building a wall. We're going to get guns and fuck all of that. You want this country better, okay? You don't need to take it over. You don't need another fucking revolution. You need to make those motherfuckers honest. Shut the country down. Just don't go to work. You don't have to go Million Man March this motherfucker. Shut it down. Hit them like they've hit us, where it hurts, in the pocketbook. And when you shut it down, they're gonna listen. They have to. What are they gonna do? Because everybody's talking. If we're having a revolution, we're sending in the military and we're shooting everybody. Okay, well, we're just shut down. We did it during COVID for the most part.
All right.
Right? So are they going to send the military in and make me go back to work?
Okay. I got you. All right. But you're at high risk of starting to repeat yourself because shutdown is starting to be like every 10 words. Listen to me though. Okay. And this is where I think Chris is trying to come from on a lot of things, but this ain't just from Chris. This is from just, let's consider what's going to really happen. Companies, major corporation companies who can wait out workers will wait them out. The mom and pop places will die off. The franchises will die off. All right. Places who basically their business model is to franchise the rights to use their name, and that's it. Have no strong corporate, like in the restaurant business, which is basically what most of the time when Chris is talking, I get the feeling about the restaurant business because it's always franchise owners. They're going to go away. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. So the people who are going to be left standing are corporations versus a bunch of unorganized workers. Because you're not organizing everybody. Unions are a bust. Sorry. It's not happening. Unions have gotten such a bad rap, and there's been so much fucking dirty dealing in business because money's involved and human nature's involved in unions. You can't get everybody on the same page to join up in one workers' union against the 4 or 5 massive corporations who are going to be left at the end of this massive walkout that these people fantasize about. That's the reality of what is going to happen. No, fuck that. That's the most likely outcome by a lot, bro.
No, and I get you. And you're talking in a hypothetical situation, as am I. But what's more likely to get things done? What is people more likely to do? Grab a gun and start marching and try to take over the country and try to fix it that way with no way out? Like you said, the end game, okay, you won, it was peaceful, now what? Next? Right. So is that likely? Or is people likely to go, oh, fuck it. Nope, I'm done. And just sit home? Because if you say corporations can wait it out, that's true. If they have somebody doing the work. If everybody in this country sat home, it would be fixed inside a fucking week.
Dude, do you understand, though, that for all the bluster and all the bullshit that was talked during fucking COVID about we got your back, we won't let you fucking fall through the cracks. We're going to help not just the average American, but the people on the margins. We're going to keep you afloat. None of that shit fucking happened.
100.
Dude, none of that shit fucking happened.
Absolutely. That's just I asked you, Rich. They just now passed over $1 trillion fucking infrastructure bill. Are you smart enough to know that that's not all going to infrastructure?
Duh.
We're not going to repair every bridge and road and driveway in this country with that money?
Oh, dude. And this is why I understand where people like Chris are coming from. Chris has skin in the game when it comes to finances in this country. All right. I don't. Not to the extent that he does. And that's very important to Chris. I understand it. Because Chris is a pragmatist enough to go, to stay alive in this country, you need to secure income. That's the reality of the situation.
God, he needs to be here. People like Chris are lucky enough that their hard work paid off, and he is in a position that he can benefit from all of his hard work. And
dude, the problem is that you want the appreciation show. You want him to show the appreciation for it in a way that you approve of. Because how do you know he doesn't appreciate it? Well, he's not showing it.
I didn't say he didn't appreciate it.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
Okay, because
but listen to me once again. Let me walk that back for a second then and say, take you out of it. And too many fucking people feel that he don't appreciate it. Why? Because he doesn't get on fucking Facebook and talk about it like you do. He doesn't post every time he fucking makes toast like you just whipped up a gourmet meal. You know, I mean, like, how do you want him to peacock? You know what I'm saying? And that's what irritates me.
I'm nowhere near that. What I was going to say was, Chris is one of the people, and unfortunately, I believe it to be few, who work his ass off. That man has worked for every single thing he has. And it worked in his favor. It paid off, and it put him in a position that he can benefit from all of his hard work. God willing or whatever, nothing came in and crashed that down. You know, nothing happened in life, and nobody was able to throw, life a curveball, and he's able to benefit it. And good on him. Have fun with that. Great things. I'm very proud and happy for him. Well done. Not the case with a lot of people. A lot of people.
Fine. And sometimes. You're right, dude. And it's to Chris's credit. It's not just Chris, even, man. Like, once again, fuck that. Just because I agree with you, I'm not gonna let you paint with a broad brush. Like, you can use a little bit wider brush than normal, but you ain't whipping out a roller talking about one size fits all.
Let me narrow it down for you in the same state. People that spent years at a plant there, developing a skill, honing the skill, owning the skill, making a living, buying a house, buying things, and doing the exact same thing Chris did, are now jobless. And according to their president, well, you could develop a new skill and a new Green Deal. Fuck everything you just did. Your whole life is a wash. Who gives a flying fuck? I got this for you. Good luck.
Yeah.
So there's your shorter brush. That's what I'm trying to get through. Thank God Chris doesn't face that.
Don't you think? See, okay, but hold on a sec. First of all, like, we're getting into like real deep in the weeds on a co-host who ain't here. And bro, like I don't want to psychoanalyze a motherfucker without him sitting here, because that just ain't right. But dude, I'm not going to go into great detail, but you know what I'm talking about. Maybe Chris needs to edit this part out. I don't know what I'm about to say, at least. But dude, you know the industry he works in, and every fucking doomsday scenario that Chris puts forward, when raising wages or people refusing to work, or I'm not going to do this, or blah 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 blah. It's always a doomsday scenario in his field. Maybe that's where his blinders lie. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, he gets that. Shit. I am now my entire skill set is up for fucking debate, whether it's worthless or I can actually pivot to something else or whatever, because the entire business model's changed. Dude, I've had to deal with that.
Oh yeah, me too.
This is a delivery driver could make enough money to live, not lavishly, but you could afford a dwelling, usually if you had a roommate, decent insurance, a decent car, and you weren't going to starve to death, and you weren't walking around in clothes you had to fix holes, by yourself. You could actually get decent clothes. You could live a working class, working poor lifestyle, keep your head above water. Then it went where you couldn't do that. Now it's drive for this fucking company and its app. And how many apps are there? Grubhub, Uber Eats, DoorDash. You see what I'm saying? Which are the big ones? The big ones have the market corner. And this is the future of how people want food. Fast food places. Wendy's. We're either going to remodel or open 7,000 new Wendy's that are drive-through, pickup, and delivery only. They're not even going to have they're like, we're not going to have any dining area, not even stools. Because why? It's just ridiculous overhead cost. Yep. I mean, dude, we're in the middle of an economic, cultural, all this shift. Okay. And people, so much of their fucking self-worth is wrapped up in their jobs in this country and in our cult and just Western culture, that when that is threatened, that is like, they take that as like, you're threatening me. It becomes personal. And so, like I said, the blinders go up. Whatever, however you use whatever fucking metaphor you want to use. Shields go up, blinders go up, or get put on. Does not matter. It all means the same thing. Tunnel vision. I'm focused on what I want to focus on. This is, and it's, oh God, dude, I get it. It's scary. But then I think back to like, didn't we all grow up being told, yeah, you're going to be the first generation who does a lot worse than your parents. Like not just worse. You already made history there. You're going to do a lot worse than your parents. Dude, I've buried a lot of people in my generation a lot sooner than people in my parents' generation buried that amount of people.
Oh yeah.
And they lived through Vietnam. And not one of the people I'm talking about died directly overseas in a war.
Right.
So yeah, dude. Like this is the uncertainty and shit that when we get on here and we have these conversations, we have to try to keep in mind that we're not just a collection of our hot takes and our opinions on the subject.
Right.
There's an actual human being under there, and they are the sum total of their experiences, their hopes, their dreams, their fears, whatever the fuck. And you have to take that into consideration. That's one of the things that I've been kind of like talking about in the last couple of shows. It's really annoying me, this attitude of one size fits all. No, the fuck it doesn't. Can we be real? Can we be honest? We lie to ourselves about so much. Can we just be honest about that? Can we start there? Since y'all like to draw awareness and raise awareness, start wearing like, pick a fucking like mauve or something. I don't know. Sherwood green for like the second Saturday in fucking February for awareness of one size doesn't fit all in life. And, we'll go from there. That's where we'll start. And we'll just be honest about it. And that day we'll just be like, a lot of black people do like fried chicken. A lot of white people can't dance. There's some white people that can dance. And there's some black people that are repulsed by chicken. Yep. Isn't it amazing? One size doesn't fit all. Yes. It's February, so you can't really barbecue unless you're in the South. Shit. I should have picked a better month. But do you see this is what I would like to try to talk about in the show, because I think this gets lost in so much interaction these days, because so much interaction is impersonal. Even I've gotten caught up into it, dude. I hate texting. I hate it. But there's just motherfuckers that's like, I get it. You can't talk right now because you're sitting next to your old lady, or you're sitting next to your fucking old man, or you're in public and you can't be on the phone, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. So I'm like, I go along with it. But it's just like, dude, I'm not going to have a 2-hour conversation typed out with my phone. Just call me. You know what I'm saying? But I get sucked up into the impersonalness of everything.
Yeah, if you're too busy and I can't talk to you, and it's that long of a conversation, we'll wait.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the, and it's not hard. I'm not saying you have to change your life, live some sort of, outdated, stoic idea of what a good person is. Just, how about this? Let's start with this. If you won't have a discussion with me about it in person, I'm damn sure not going to sit here and argue with you about it online or via text or messenger or whatever the fuck. If you can't sit down and have this conversation with me to my face, we're not talking about this. Well, I get triggered and I have avoidant personality disorder. Those are all you problems. I'm sorry you have those problems. I genuinely am. Those are not my problems. I refuse to let your problems inconvenience me when they don't have to, just because you want them to. Like, it's just, no. Just boundaries, folks. No, I won't have this conversation. I won't fucking get into this shit. I'm not going to sit here and argue. And so many people will find they either don't want to be online, they don't want to be on social media, and they'll venture to other parts of the internet and discover other things, hobbies that are more creative, more fun, more fulfilling, whether it be video games or fucking writing fan fiction or whatever the fuck, go find it. Get off social media and stop arguing with people who you wouldn't even bother talk to in real life. Just stop and see if your life doesn't improve a little bit. And the problem is, Earl, we've talked about this. Yep. When you're going through rough times, I found myself doing this. I would get so fucking pissed because I felt so fucking stuck in a situation that I'm like, it's really not my fault, but it's always your fault because you're always there. So it's like single digit percentage my fault. And the rest of it is not my fault, but I'm the one that's bearing the brunt of it. I feel powerless. Let me go online and fucking troll people. Let me go online and be a dick on purpose. Because why? Because that's the only way. It's the only way I feel like I have any control or power over anything. Is I don't like the cut of this guy's jib. I'm going to piss him off any way I can. And a hour later, like, ooh, he mad. He big mad. Look at him. You know what I'm saying? You know exactly what I'm saying.
Absolutely, and that's just the way this world has become. We used to go out and ride bikes till the lights came on or play with the stick in the mud, and I mean that literally, and find ways to have fun. Go play a pickup game of hockey or football or whatever. Nowadays, that's the norm. That's what people do. People, not just kids, people. They get online and they find something to bitch about. And then if somebody wants to argue, oh, no, you didn't. And here it goes. And if something that, the media has pumped up, i.e. the Rittenhouse thing, people are like, I have an opinion on that, and I know I'm right. Come here. And then it turns into the new fad that everybody has totally adopted now. It's totally encompassed. Even myself, I've been victim to it. People just don't ever want to be wrong. They don't like saying those two words in the same sentence at all. Wrong. No, not even that I made a wrong turn. They put that building over there. It looked just like that one. Their fault. Not that I made a wrong turn. It's just the building. People that, stub their toes and hit their hips or shit on the door. The door hates me and the floor's against me. That I'm wrong just doesn't fucking pass their lips for anything.
But here's the thing. We knew people like that when we were younger, but we laughed at them.
Right.
And because they got laughed at, and we pointed at, and by people pointing out, like, this is what I'm talking about. The people would bump into something. Who put that there? Not joking either. Dead serious. And then you're like,
it's been there since we had it. What the fuck?
Fucker, how long have you lived in this house? Bitch, that ain't nothing new. Does that have a sticker on it? The fuck, are you retarded? Like, but no, you can't shame somebody.
Nope.
So it went from, I feel stupid because I did something stupid, but I don't want to feel stupid anymore, which is an absolutely fucking understandable fucking impulse. It's childish to give into it because sometimes you just got to laugh at yourself, man.
Yep, right.
But it went from, that to now it's like, oh, how dare you not go with me on this fantastical fucking fictional voyage I'm about to make up to tell you why I just bumped into a fucking hot stove or touched a hot burner. Bitch, it's red. It's glowing red. What the fuck does red mean when you drive? Is it blinking or no? Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see. This is, whew.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Wrap up your holiday gifting with MeUndies' biggest site-wide sale of the year. Yep, it's already the end of 2021, which means Cyber Monday is here. And this is one sale you'll want to reschedule all your Zoom calls for. Starting now and for a limited time, get up to 50% off site-wide. MeUndies has fun, limited edition prints to make even the Grinchiest Grinch smile. All available in the comfiest fabrics like sustainable micromodal and organic stretch cotton. Their ultralight, anti-odor breathe collection is perfect for those who like to move. Need something for your live-in BFF? They've got dog hoodies too. Gift your favorites or stock up for yourself with the softest and most comfortable undies, cozy socks, PJ sets, and more. Available in sizes extra small to 4XL, there's something for every booty on your list. Speaking of butts, you can keep yours on the couch. Get up to 50% off site-wide and free shipping at MeUndies.com/cyber50. That's MeUndies.com/cyber50.
Sattva customer service, how may I help you?
Hi, is it true that Sattva delivers to any room in the house?
Correct.
Really? Even to a treehouse with spiral stairs?
Yep.
Or an underground man cave?
Yep.
What about a research library hidden behind a painting that can only be accessed with facial recognition?
Sattva's free white glove delivery, setup, and old mattress removal works for all rooms.
Impressive. Get $200 off your purchase of $1,000 or more at sattva.com/200.
In the U.S. Army, you can make a choice to make your mark. With over 150 fields to choose from, join forces with us and take on anything.
Hi, Derek Campana here. On my show, Wizard of Paws, I help animals get moving again, and hopefully with a lot less pain. Whether it's prosthetics for ponies or braces for beagles, I custom build solutions so they can live their best lives. Every animal has a unique story with pet owners who love them, and it's my goal to find a solution that works for each one of them. Watch Wizard of Paws on BYU TV or the free BYU TV app.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
It just makes your head hurt. Yeah, that's what happened to me in Thanksgiving, dude. The British don't celebrate things. The fuck. It's the same people that think the Boston Tea Party was started because of slavery. Like, the fuck? They're not even in the same war, dude. They're not even in the same war. I can't do that anymore. People go, why aren't you a history teacher anymore? You've got to be kidding with that question.
Well, because history isn't teaching history anymore. History is teaching political theory. And in their minds, it's not subversive at all, but it's basically just like, hey, everything American, everything capital, everything fucking, basically anything from Europe, bad. Oh, except for Marxism. That's somehow great. But everything else is too Eurocentric. What? What? Like, oh. You know, Marx, look at the name Marx. Where the fuck do you think he comes from in Europe? And it just if you don't know, it's a rhetorical question to the audience. If you don't know, look it up. But it's just like, wow, okay, all right, cool, great. You don't want to listen to these dead white men because dead white men are fucking the devil and they're evil. But you listen to this dead white man. Okay, all right, good. It's just, you can't deal with, those people need to be left alone to be crazy by themselves. We used to do that in society. Look, there's a certain point where you become a detriment to everybody around you. And it is not anyone's fucking obligation to take care of you past a certain age.
Yeah, even scare my dogs. It's a crazy thing.
But I mean, that is just the reality of the situation. And for all these people talking all this, we have so much. What are you giving? Because no one's knocked on my door and said, you know, I have so much, let me give to you. Never seen it happen, okay? In fact, you want help in this country, you got to go fucking find it yourself.
I don't know how to break this to our listeners, but the movie Pay It Forward was a fictional movie. It doesn't happen.
Well, and the internet has convinced so many people of these bullshit Reddit type fucking stories of, well, I was at the grocery store and I saw this woman and she had pennies in her hand and she was trying to buy, like, and then everyone clapped after my 3-year-old gave us, hopped on a literal soapbox and gave a speech about late stage capitalism and the Marxist utopia and blah blah. And like, no, the fuck you didn't. So people grow up reading this shit and they fucking think it's real, dude. And it's like, at least when we were kids, we watched cartoons. We'd be like, that looks like that'd be funny. Except for that really hurt.
That would hurt.
And then when you watch movies, like, you watch Commando or Rambo 2, you're mowing down fucking dozens, hundreds sometimes of people, but never catching a fucking nothing but just a little strategic cut on their bicep that makes them look cooler, doesn't even slow them down. And it's like, but we understand that that's all bullshit. These people are reading people online, lying their asses off for clout from people who they will never lay eyes on. And they're believing. And they grow up with these fucking fantasy bullshit stories in their head. And I mean, dude, we all knew people like that when we were younger. The people who are way too old to believe into the urban legend that they believe.
Here's the thing, though, Rich. It was also proven to us, all right? The Protect the Children thing that started in the late 90s fucked all that up for everybody else. It really did. No bullshit. Because it was proven to us. Yeah, we watched our cartoons, and when Tom hit Jerry or Jerry hit Tom with a mallet, we were like, oh, that's funny. Would that hurt? And we get a hammer and hit ourselves in the arm. Oh, fuck yeah. Okay, no. Bad. And then we'd watch G.I. Joe and all that, and people gunned down, and we were like, oh, that's badass. He's the man. But then we would have pellet guns. Not BBs or anything, just little pellets, little yellow pellets. Remember them? And we'd start firing and dipping and dodging, but eventually that shit hit us. And we were like, God damn it. All right. Time out. Hold on. Sure.
You know, one of the...
Yeah, it was proven.
One of the coolest... I don't know how accurate this story is. I hope it's accurate. I hope there's a parent that did this, like a parent that was a parent of a child around our age. But growing up, there was always like a story at one school I went to of this kid who, huge G.I. Joe fan, bring him to school, would wear the fuck, he had the lunchbox and shit. This is like late grade school, early middle school, whatever. Like 10, 11. And basically his dad was like, oh, so you're all in the G.I. Joe and you play war with your G.I. Joe figures. And, you know, this kid had every G.I. Joe figure and all this. And he goes, okay, well, I'm going to show you what war is really like. So I'm going to sit here and watch you play. Go ahead and play. And every time he'd shoot a guy, he'd go, is this guy dead? Yeah. He'd go, okay. And he let the kid play. When the kid was done playing, he went to clean up and he goes, no. And he grabbed all the G.I. Joe figures that the kid had said had died during the fight. And he goes, you never get these back because they're gone forever, because that's what happens when you die. And the kid was like, but Dad, I'm just playing. They're toys. He goes, right. So you understand the difference between fucking reality and nonsense?
Yep.
Like, this isn't real.
Yep.
Don't think it is.
No,
we don't do that with our children anymore, man.
No, dude, we don't. And not all of us had the most responsible parents. But then it went to, it takes a village. Somewhere in your neighborhood, you had a mom that was not your own. Somebody in your life was that figure. And they showed you, no, this is not the way of the world. And it's somehow, some way, you learned and you were taught. And today they just don't. I don't know why they don't. They just don't. They call it protecting the children.
It's because, well, we don't want to stunt the child's this, or, you know, this child's so imaginative, blah, 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 blah. And every fucking excuse to not go, your kid's a fucking liar, or your kid lives in a fucking fantasy world. What the fuck is wrong? Like, what? Because eventually, here's the thing. Who let the kid get to this point? Kind of narrow it down. If you got to find, okay, I'll just say this. Growing up, okay, there was a kid in the circle of kids that were around me, and this kid was like 5 years old. This kid, all he did was walk around talking about fucking in like graphic detail, right? Like graphic for us, but probably graphic for the fucking teenagers that heard it, except for his older brothers, because his whole family talked that way. So this kid grew up talking this way. And it's like, he never knew it was, you know what I'm saying? He was in trouble for it. And then the parents were like, well, we don't know why he's like that. What the fuck you mean? Like, but that was the thing. The other parents, my parents, other kids' parents would go to that parent and go, what the fuck are y'all talk like it's a fucking Penthouse Forum article in this bitch all day long? Why the fuck you think we don't let our kids at your house? Right. The kid's got to come to our house, and we're throwing his ass out most of the time because he's over there talking about blowjobs at 5 years old.
Yep, we had those kids. I'm right there with you. The kid, and that goes back to the kid feels bullied, the kid feels singled out, the kid feels this. Well, then change the way you raise him. Why did society have to change to include the kids instead of the parents changing the way he was raised? Why? Now look where we're at. Way to fucking go, guys.
I mean, there's certain areas of the country that are definitely worse than others. But I mean, the worst I ever witnessed is basically the kids were put in a situation where they were calling the shots, like kids that were in the system. And these kids were in the system because, you know, the school fucking stuck its nose in. And, oh, you know, where did you hear that? Oh, well, I heard my dad say it. I heard my mom say it. And so they go fucking report shit. And it's not like sexual assault, anything like that. It's shit where kids shouldn't have been fucking listening. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't matter. The context of where did you hear this? Who did someone say this to you, or were you? Did you hear this? Okay, you heard this. Okay, why were you just listening and not seen in that situation? Were you supposed to be there listening? Okay, well, guess what? That's how adults talk sometimes when they don't think children are around. It's that simple.
For real, dude. And nobody takes time. Well, not nobody. Most people don't take time to do that. They're too busy. They got to go to work. They got to get this. They got to that.
Well, no, it's because when the kid goes and does, when a kid realizes they have that much power, and then the state's stepping in, basically as a parent, your job is to like make sure your kid gives you a glowing review to the state.
Yeah,
and like I said,
the sentence "wait till your dad gets home" is long gone.
Yeah. You don't wait till CPS gets here, mom and dad.
Right.
That's what it's turned into. And it's like, dude, let me tell you something. There's one way to nip that in the bud. It ain't pretty, and there's going to be a lot of kids. There's going to be a lot of fucked up kids coming out of it. But we already see how fucked up it is. Okay, hold on a sec. Let's say, and I'm talking like you got one of these smart ass kids. I'll call CPS because you won't let me do this. And that's abuse. That's neglect. Really? Okay. Call them. They come in. Well, Mr. So-and-so, we heard that you wouldn't let your child do this. You're damn right. Child is 12 years old. Child's not dressing up in booty shorts and going out to fucking go cruise up and down fucking Telegraph. Not happy. Well, you know, you shamed her for whatever, blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, I guess I'm a horrible parent. You better take her and put her in the system. Enjoy living as a guest of the state. And you know what? 6 months of that shit, they'll come the fuck home, dude. Because it ain't gonna be
sunshines and rainbows.
Dude. And these precious little fucking fuck trophies and semen demons who, you know, I don't want to eat that. I don't like that. I don't want this. I wish I had a new phone. That shit ain't gonna fucking fly when you're when you're a guest of the state. You don't have a phone. You don't have choices.
That's one of the things that hasn't ever changed is how that system is run, and that's a bad thing.
And by the way, the older you get, the less likely you get out of the fucking system. Meaning, like, this is the fucked up part, because it chews up good kids who need it there to get away from bad parents and have no place else, but it also chews up kids whose parents just don't give a fuck.
Yep.
They're just like, go ahead, take. I mean, that's the thing. The system does not give a fuck. It's not like it's targeting. Well, the system is systematic racism, blah, 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 blah. Ew.
Oh, it is colorblind as a motherfucker. They see one color, green. That's it.
Green? Yeah, once it's become pretty much crystal fucking clear that they can get paid off of you, they'll stick you in a for-profit fucking, they'll stick kids in a for-profit youth home in a heartbeat, in a youth group or whatever the fuck. All right. And believe me, there ain't a lot of people lining up to fucking adopt 15, 14, 15, 16-year-old kids. That's just not the reality of the situation. That's all there is to it. And I mean, it's not a pretty way to do it, but if you got a kid who's just like, I want to get, you're not letting me have my way. Okay, well, you know what? Since you know everything, why don't you strike out on your own, and your first stop will be the state home for whatever the fuck. And good luck, because you think you have no freedom here. I'm about to find out what no freedom really is. I mean, for real. And go in there talking that shit. Find out how quick that shit fucking gets.
And if you need help,
there's a pin put in that balloon.
For real. And if you need help finding all the ways to move these kids and everything around, call Miss Maxwell. She's had a lot of experience.
Yeah. When it comes to kids, she seems like she's probably got a lot of, logistics experience with that.
Yeah. Nobody seems to know that her trial started.
No, dude, look. Okay, stop. We talked about this off the air. I ain't going to let you fucking get away with this one. Because we both agreed what the reality situation is. At best, you're trying to fish for fucking, get some shit going. You know damn well they're going to cover it. They're just going to cover it in the back of the website. Well, we used to say the back page of the paper. It's not going to be on the front fucking page like the Rittenhouse one was. Judge already made sure of that. Prosecutor already made sure of that. They're going to have redacted names. The public doesn't need to know that. Whoa. We know Kyle Rittenhouse's video gaming habits. I didn't need to know that. This was a billionaire moving around children running a fucking international sex ring. That's the name of the motherfuckers we need to know.
Quickly.
But let's not act like most people don't even know. No. A lot of people know. A lot of people don't care. Because once they found out, you're not going to get the easy satisfaction of you tune in to fucking your favorite and your favorite YouTuber stream of the trial or whatever. And no, everything that we're going to hear is going to be approved. And yes, that's something to be upset about. But when you start off with, well, not many people know, that's not true, dude. You're cutting your legs off your argument before you start.
Okay, let me roll it back. I didn't know. That's true. I had no idea it started.
Because I try to keep up on certain things. It wasn't like it was hard to find, but it wasn't like it was front page fucking info either. You know what I'm saying?
I just didn't know when her trial was set for. I figured seriously she was going to be found dead like Jeffrey Epstein and whisked away. And that'd be the end of it. Oh. And I just happened to be scrolling on Facebook and everybody was like, how come we know so much about this kid and we don't know a damn thing about this woman's trial starting? I was like, oh shit. Yeah. How come?
I brought this up to Chris. I'm like, why did Bill Gates, a Bill Gates owned company, become the United States' biggest farmland owner during COVID? What is the point of that? Please explain that to me. Yeah. And he's like, I didn't know he did. It's not. It's. See, this is the thing. They don't hide shit. Like, this isn't the Kennedy assassination. They're not like, in 70 years, you can open the files. Well, actually, no. And they're going to be redacted. It's not that type of shit. This is just like, we'll bury it. We won't cover it. Because, look, the news is beholden to sponsors. The news has to get people to watch their product so they can sell advertising time to sponsors. Yep. This is not conspiracy shit, folks. This is how the real world works. I don't know why anyone would be shocked by this, but apparently someone needs to hear this. This is for you. Those corporate fucking masters, they don't want anything to disrupt their fucking profit margins going up. This Jeffrey Epstein shit and Ghislaine, whatever the fuck, Maxwell shit. Apparently there's going to be some heavy hitting names, and people who claim to be in the know are like, yeah, there's a couple juicy celebrity names, but a lot of it is movers and shakers behind the scenes names. Oh, the real power people's names. Those are people's names we should know, like we know Ryan Reynolds. Like we know Jennifer Lopez. You're the people who make the decisions that affect billions of others. Why are you not answering to your fucking, why do you only answer your shareholders and not your customers? You know what I'm saying? And we should know. Sorry, if your company, if you was used to launder money, getting from an international sex or slave organization or some shit. Once again, but no, they'll just bury it. They'll get what they can redacted. There'll probably be a bunch of pleas off the fucking books. I mean, that's what happened. Isn't that what happened with Jeffrey Epstein in the first place? Like he pled guilty to like sex with a minor, basically a lesser stat rape charge in Florida, and the prosecutor like, okay, well we're good, blah 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 blah. And then 10 years later, he comes after him. And it's like, bro, you're the same prosecutor who gave him a deal, weren't you?
Yeah.
How the fuck did now all of a sudden it's a problem? The fuck, you're the one that gave him the goddamn deal to let him get out and do this shit. Why don't we know his name? And here's the thing. People go, I know his name. You know why you know his name? Because you're obsessed with this shit. Yeah. And anyone who gets obsessed with that, we look down on them in society. But if you're obsessed with sports, if you're obsessed with celebrity, if you're obsessed with music, if you're obsessed with any of these other things, yes, you will be laughed at to a certain extent by certain groups of people because that's just human nature. But it's socially acceptable.
Yeah, and as far as the outcome and what we learn about Miss Maxwell and all of that shit, one more time for the people in the back. Privileged if you have the money. Yeah, we're not going to hear anything that's going to be like, oh, no.
I mean, I'm thinking,
put it. There's no ooh moment.
I think there might be, depending on how deep the bullshit gets, there might be a few sacrificial lambs ran out. People who've fallen out of favor in Hollywood or whatever, whose names they can throw out. And I mean, it's probably going to, let's be honest, dude. The people, if these are movers and shakers like that, then the people that they were dealing with in Hollywood, it's going to be high level people. So it's probably going to be some older ass fucking like 70-something-year-old.
Well, for example, I've seen
person or some shit.
I've seen personally that Trump, Bill Clinton, and a couple other high-profile pictures of them on that island. It's like, seriously.
Well, I mean, dude, here's the thing. This is what irritates me so much. Until it's presented in court, I don't know what stories to believe and what not to. Because I've heard there's flight logs. And if you know anything about aviation, of course there's flight logs.
Absolutely.
Everything that goes up in the air past a certain weight, the government, believe me, if they don't know about it and they find out about it, they're going to find you real quick. If you put it up there, and I mean, maybe you survive if it's a drone. If it's something that you're piloting, you might get shot down. Oh, well. I mean, that's just how the government does it. So it's like, of course, but once again, going back to the Rittenhouse case, the facts, the video, I mean, even the prosecution's star witness his own testimony, not enough for people to go, oh, shit. It didn't go the way I wanted, but yeah, legally, yeah. Legally, they probably shouldn't have charged him with all that shit. They should have charged him with, like, reckless manslaughter or some shit, or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, reckless endangerment and 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Something like along those lines. But it wasn't, like, dude, you're trying to charge him like he's a serial killer. Like he's a fucking active gunman. Kiss my ass, dude. No, fuck, he wasn't. No. That is not that situation. That is not a Vegas situation. It's not a Sandy Hook situation. None of that shit. Nope. So that's why I'm like, I don't even know. It doesn't matter. That's why when I say I've given up, I mean like this. You people want to live in bullshit. The vast majority of this world wants to live in absolute bullshit. They don't want the truth. They don't want to be challenged. They don't want to have to think outside of their comfort zones. They don't even want to fucking leave the cradle. They want to just live in the cradle from birth to death. I'm not one of those people. And this world isn't built for people like me. And to be honest with you, dude, the only way I can go about to not caring is to completely unplug from the fucking world.
Really? Yeah. Pretty much.
I mean, I am a product of
not even just unplugged, dude. You'd have to move in like total confinement, like Unabomber, back in the woods, totally off the grid.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like the song, you know. It's like the song "Type" by Living Colour. We are the children of concrete and steel. Yeah, we are raised on technology. We are dependent upon technology to such a fucking ridiculous extent compared to even 100 years ago, that even compared to 50 fucking years ago, that most of us, myself included, wouldn't know what to do if we tried to pull out of society like that. I mean, I could probably, out of my group of friends and family, if I could just abduct them and say, hey, we're all stuck in this situation, so let's make the best of it, I could probably cobble together a group where we could survive.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be in there, Rich, because seriously, real talk, if I'd have unplugged and lived back in the woods and that kid came up to me and said what they said about Thanksgiving and the Tea Party and shit, I would beat the shit out of them until they stopped moving. But like, zombies have encompassed the world. It is bad. One of them found us. They're on our trail.
But they're not rotten. How do you know they're zombies? They're brainless. Trust me. They're
completely stupid.
I cracked your head open on a rock like a egg. There's nothing that came out.
It's
just
not a
liquid. But yeah, dude. I mean, that's what I mean about it. Like I've given up. People don't want to know. It's more important. Everybody is a slave to a certain extent. Most people are slaves to various extents to our neurosis. We want people to like us, or some people they want to be the bad guy. Some people are narcissistic, so they constantly have to be the victim. Nothing's ever their fault. Everything happens to them. You know, I mean, it all manifests itself different. And it all boils down to, I don't want to deal with the truth. I don't want to deal with reality. And if you dig deep enough on anybody, there's going to be something they're like that about. The problem is, are they honest? In my mind, are they honest about it? Are they self-aware about it? Are they willing to at least accept the idea that maybe this is a fault in them? I mean, my major one is relationships. I don't think I should ever be in another relationship, ever.
Even your cat looks at you sideways.
I mean, well, it's just, dude, I don't have a good track record in relationships with who I choose, the decisions I make, how I treat them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, okay, what do you need? I need this, 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 and this. I can't give it to you. Bye. It's that simple for me. And it's like, won't you work on it? No, I'm not doing that, because you're not going to do anything for me. You're not going to work on you for me. You don't know that. You're already asking me to change when I'm not even in a relationship. The fuck out of here. It's only going to get better when we start dating. Okay. Some guys need that. Some guys need the dog. They're happy being a lap dog, dude. Put the collar on me. Take me for a walk. Throw me some pussy every once in a while. Make me feel special. Make me feel like a pretty little dog. And they're happy. You know what? More power to you. I'm not happy like that. And here's the thing. I don't want to treat anyone like that either. I don't want some bitch who's like, oh, I'm just going to stay home barefoot and pregnant. First of all, bitch, what, pregnant? Whose fucking kid is that? It ain't mine. Like, I see a flight of stairs, a fifth of vodka, and a kick in the stomach in your future. What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you crazy?
That hate mail.
Like, but then again, like, if I can't be with someone who's like, I have to be right because I have to win, then that's not going to work either. And that eliminates most of the fucking human race. If I was bisexual, if I was pansexual, if I was whatever fucking gender, sexual orientation they've come up with this last 10 minutes.
Dude, I'm trisexual. I try anything once.
Oh, God. Just flew in from Vegas, and boy, my arm's tired. Like, it's up there with that, dude. Come on.
I'm with you, Rich. I just don't know. I don't have any faults like that.
Of course. And this is why he just has adoring fans beating down his door right now.
That is my fault. I don't think my shit stinks. My shit smells way better than everybody else's, and I can prove it. Just ask me, because I will tell you.
Well, I mean, but once again, there's people who I've been around the block a few times, so have you. There's people who are aware of what's wrong, or that something's wrong, and they're actively doing something about it. And then there's people who are just like, I don't even want to deal with it. Okay, then I have no time for you.
Right.
I can't do this, dude. I can't sit here and hold your hand while you make every horrible fucking decision in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah.
I expected a lot of people to do that at a certain point in my life. Most of those people still aren't around. I am not angry one bit at them. I'm not hurt. I'm like, I totally get it. I was being a fucking demanding, just way, way, way too high maintenance fucking human being at that point. So, I mean, at a certain point, you got to look at the situation and go, what can change? What can really change? What can I affect the situation? I mean, that's what I think where a lot of people get to, where they're just like, oh, there's nothing I can do. Well, then fuck it. And they start feeling powerless. And that's when they just,
now, actually,
I agree with this party or I agree with that party more. So now I'm one of them. And my whole personality is what politicians I support.
No, that whole story, Rich, is why the world is the way it is. Because, well, when people get to that situation, instead of saying, I'm wrong and this needs to be fixed, something needs to change about me, nope, the world needs to change. And it has. That's what happened.
Well, I find that there's a lot more people, all these people who are like, I need the world to change for me. It's like, okay. And in more, you see, here's the dirty little secret. In more cases than not, the worst thing that most of these people who come in with this outlandish, off-the-wall bullshit, I'm not talking people who are trans, who have gender dysphoria. I'm talking the trend sexuals, the people who are now trans, but they won't be in 6 months. And if you've been around teenagers in the last 5 years, you know it's like flannels in the 90s, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this is going to mark this era of their childhood. Remember when everybody was trans? How stupid that was. It was that. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Those people don't get any fucking pushback. Those people, but you can't say anything because of this. You can't say anything because of this. And it's like, you know what it is? You can't deal with the fact that there ain't nothing special about you. There's not. The vast majority of people, you're unique in your personality. That's it. You don't bring anything new to the table. You don't bring any fucking deep thought to the table. I mean, basically, and then now they're like, well, wait a minute, so all I'm worth is what I can provide to society? Yeah. And do you think it's going to be any different under a fucking authoritarian communist or totalitarian Marxist, however you want to, Marxist-Leninist, whatever fucking subdivide that you want to fucking jump on? You think it's going to be any different under that? Nope, it's not.
Be way harder, maybe.
Well, it's not even that. Like, okay, great. I mean, I understand the attraction of, the government is so all-controlling and all-encompassing. They come in and they give you tests and they go, hey, you're really good at this. So this is what you're going to do for the rest of your life. Okay, I don't have to think. That's easy. Okay, cool, blah, blah, blah. What happens when you can't even get the bare fucking minimum basics to survive, though?
Or what happens when you test really high at something and they put you there and they say, this is what you're good at, this is what you're going to do, and you're like, but I don't like this. I didn't ask what you liked. I said you were good at it. Do it.
It's for the greater good.
That's it.
I mean, that's the thing. This is what I try to make people at least stop and consider. Everything that you support right now that's infringing upon other people's rights will be used against you at some point in the future. Case in point, you have a lot of people on the right who I feel you should be scared. You should be shaking in your fucking boots and your don't tread on me flags and all that shit. You should. You know why? Because you're the same idiots who after 9/11 said, well, it's more important that we know who wants to bomb us and hurt us than personal safety and personal privacy. And besides, if you ain't got nothing to hide, what do you care? Well, it's because, Goober, you thought they weren't going to be looking at you. My, how the tables have turned 20 years later. Now you're public enemy number one. Now it's being used against you. Now it's an issue. That's what I try. People need to realize that. And people need to vote accordingly. And I don't even know if that's going to help at this point. I think we're past voting doing anything. I think we need to collapse and become basically the UK part 2. And China or Russia or some other fucking major country needs to step up into the number one spot. Because I think, I don't see how we get out of this. Nobody's interested. The loudest, most violent people that want to go back and forth are not interested in peace. They're not interested in compromise whatsoever. And we have now 4 decades of turning out students we've taught that you should never compromise, because if you want something bad enough, you can get it, you can do it. That's not reality. You can do everything right. You can go to school. You can do ace the job interviews, 3.8 out of fucking college, whatever, 4.0 out of college, whatever the fuck. And still
extra
not
credit,
succeed.
4.3.
Yeah, and still not succeed in life. Still not be a success in the fields you go into.
It happens.
Some of the best guitar players I've ever known. If Chris was here, I'm sure he'd back me up on this. The best guitar players I've ever fucking personally seen with my own eyes have not been on a stage. It's been in someone's garage, someone's bedrooms, or a guitar store. And it's just dudes who walk in and just do shit that is ungodly on the instrument. And you're just going, holy fuck, why do I even play? And you start talking to them, they're just like, yeah, I thought for a couple of years doing the musician thing, but it's just too much bullshit. So I sit at home and play. Like, dude, you're one of the best guitar players I've ever fucking seen. Ever.
Goes back to the old adage, you stop doing what you want to do and start doing what you need to do.
Dude, they're playing for their fucking ungrateful little fucking kids. Play some fucking play some Billie Eilish. Shut the fuck up. Like, seriously, let me learn all 4 chords of the Billie Eilish song you want me to fucking play. Ooh, that impresses you more than what I'm doing? This is the problem. Anyways, sorry. I I'll save that rant for when Chris is here because he really likes that rant. But,
yeah, I think we're pretty much at the encompass of it. Leave people with the thought of that, Rich. What do we do? Because the only two options I have is what I've given. You either revolt and start all over, or shut this country down and make them listen. It ain't nobody willing to do, not everybody willing to do any of that.
You're not going to get everybody to do anything.
Right. So we're fucked.
Like I said, dude, fucked is it's relative. I'm just going to throw this out there, okay? Because like I said at the beginning, we are recording Thanksgiving night, but I didn't have a chance to fact check it. I don't know if it's reality or not, but if it's a meme, it's a really good looking Photoshop. Apparently, there's a news story that was on MSNBC or NBC talking about, if you can't afford a turkey, then just don't buy one for Thanksgiving and go without food or, this and that, or basically just have everybody bring a dish who shows up and this. And I'm just like, wow, inflation and everything, all this shit has gotten so crazy. The news is actually out there. If this is real, there's news stories, not editorial stories about experts say, if you can't afford it, don't buy a turkey. Okay. But isn't the fact that they were handing them out even last year? Now all of a sudden people can't afford the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Do you not see that this is getting to, dude, tell your children, just make it work. I'm not buying you a new one, and see how much shit you get. Yet people will sit there and hear that shit and be like, oh yeah, see that, yeah, blah, 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 blah.
Your CPS.
It's just, it's nutty. It's just like, it goes back to a few of the things that I've brought up over the course of this very young show still, that I won't go into now. But I mean, this is when I say we're going through a cultural and intellectual and everything shift, like whether we want to or not, it's being engineered. And we are well down the road to where there is no backing out now. And you're either going to accept it or you're going to live a lifestyle that you didn't think you would fucking live. And I mean, either way, your lifestyle is going to change. But I can't articulate it because it's late and I'm tired. But it's just fucking amazing to me. Can't afford turkey? Don't buy one. Like, first of all, duh. Second of all, bro, it's turkey. Why the fuck is turkey so expensive that you can't afford one? It's not even the best meat.
That goes back to shutting down the pipeline, man. You know why. You raise the gas prices, you raise the price of everything being carted across the country. It's got to fall somewhere, guys.
But dude, the profit margins have to go up every 4 months. Excuse me, every 3 months. Every quarter. Mm-hmm. If the profit margin doesn't go up by at least 0.01%, the sky has fallen. And it's like, how much do we got to suffer for the profit margins to keep going up? Can't tell that to a business person. Because a business person don't want to hear that. Because if you're not growing, you're dying. There's no such thing as staying static in business. That's not sustainable. So, I mean, at a certain point, can't we just go, you won. You've won capitalism. You can't really get any more fucking rich than this. So just give him an island and let him live there with his fucking money. Like you're done. You're done. And you don't get to hand it off to your kids or your wife either. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, once you die, it goes back in the pool.
Yep. It goes into free parking.
It goes to pay down the fucking national debt.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if we really did have a real life free parking pot, it would go to that free parking pot, and then the price of parking would quadruple overnight. And we'd be like, "We just got Bezos's fucking estate. We should be parking like for nothing, like all over the world. I should be able to park a spaceship here. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? It's just because you know that's how it is. It's how it is, man. It's the mafia. If you understand how the mafia works, you understand how all politics and power structures work. Shit rolls downhill, money goes up. You ain't in the club at the top, you ain't got no say-so on what's going on. End of story. All right, let's wrap this up. Thanks for listening, liking. I'm not even going to act like I know everything that Chris says. You can find us on Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube, all the places you find podcasts at. Pretty much we're slathered all over the place. Kind of can't miss us once you know what to look for. And if you're here, I'm assuming you know the name of the show. Also check out just ChristopherMedia.net all around the Weedsman podcast. That's a nice one if for those that like to partake. And yeah, like us and share us and
click on
review
a banner
us
once or twice. You're good.
Yeah, the Amazon banner. I mean, if you're gonna if you're gonna give your money to Amazon, you might as well fucking break off a portion of a penny for us. We'd appreciate it. I mean, we really would. Like, I don't know. I'm not a good shill for this because I'm forgetting all these fucking shits I'm supposed to say. But anyways,
hit the PayPal button, all that good shit.
Yeah, all that. And yeah, we will see you guys next time.
Nobody knows.
you're struggling with alcohol or drugs, Recovery Centers of America can help. RCA's local inpatient and outpatient programs are founded on science and delivered with heart from an expert caring team who will inspire and guide you every step of the way. Call 1-888-RECOVERY now to speak with a treatment advisor. At RCA, you'll be in a community that builds connections and fosters support from peers and RCA's team of medical professionals and recovery support specialists. At RCA's state-of-the-art campuses in Devon, PA and Mays Landing, New Jersey, they tailor your treatment to you and also offer specialized programs for patients with history of trauma, for patients who have achieved recovery but are experiencing a relapse, for young adults, adults 50 years and older, a confidential program for first responders and military, and a faith-based program. RCA answers the phone and accepts patients 24/7. And because it's local and in-network with insurance providers, treatment is affordable and accessible. Don't wait. Call 1-888-RECOVERY today.
I'm not saying you have to love football. We all have different likes and dislikes, people. Personally, I'm not a fan of the avocado. I just don't like the mouthfeel. But if you're someone who loves football, truly loves it, well, my sportsbook app might be the greatest thing that has ever happened to you.
Must be 21. Gambling problem? New Jersey and Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Hi, Derek Campana here. On my show, Wizard of Paws, I help animals get moving again, and hopefully with a lot less pain. Whether it's prosthetics for ponies or braces for beagles, I custom build solutions so they can live their best lives. Every animal has a unique story with pet owners who love them, and it's my goal to find a solution that works for each one of them. Watch Wizard of Paws on BYU TV or the free BYU TV app.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.